Oh, our winds are really increasing. Look at the ground right here. It's pulling rain into it rapidly. Kyle, let's turn around and go east. We have a tornado right now on Franklin. It may be just south of Franklin, actually, maybe a half a mile. The wind is really, really cranking right now, Damon, across this field right here. We're gonna pull in behind it. We're gonna go right down Franklin and watch it from behind now. But it is going right down Franklin and is going to be approaching 48th Avenue very, very shortly. The couplet's really tightened up too on radar. It is definitely right here.
It really has. Okay, let's go. Let's put the Norman camera up if we can. By the way, Jonathan, you say you've seen a
right there on. Look at the circulation. It's rapid.
Yeah, it's picking up. So by the way,
Johnson control cam.
So here it is right here. That's it right here. So okay, so we're looking west. By the way, over the Norman Healthplex. So this will be flood. And then here's I-35 right here. So we're looking out to the west setting sun. You can definitely see that lowering coming in with this. Again, this is it from our Johnson Controls camera. Again, right along, right there, just runs parallel flood in I-35. Okay, let me show exactly where this is on the radar. Let's put the radar back up behind me. We'll go street by street, zoom in real tight right here. As a matter of fact, let's zoom in. So this is right on Franklin. So here's a Norman Healthplex, by the way. Southmore High School's up here. This is going to be just west, so let's see here. You're going to have a bunch of auto dealerships right here, Nissan, Toyota. This is going to be just south of Hayday. So there's Southmore right there, Southwest 164. This is right on Franklin Road on the west side of I-35. Let's go out to Buck. Buck, out to you we go. Buck, what do you see?
Hey, Damon, we're on Northwest 12th between Franklin and Indian Hills Road, and in my shot is the storm that Michael's looking at. But as I pan the 360 camera over here, watching an area of rotation here to the north about 2 miles of where Michael is, and we've seen some lowerings out of it, and it's definitely rotating. So we have a great shot of both of these different areas of rotation. We're going to stay right here, and if we see anything on the ground, we'll let you know.
Okay, yeah, definitely has a kind of a bit of a unique loop with this as the storm is kind of picking back up its rotation as the low-level winds are beginning to feed into this. And so it's turning more east. So looking at Franklin, eventually moving right over I-35 as you make your way down eventually towards, on the east side, towards the train tracks here. But again, right now we are south of Southmore High School. Here's Southmore High School. Here's Norman Healthplex. There's Storm Command. Let's go out to Nick Smith. Let's go out to Nick. Nick, circulation about 1 mile, if even that, to your west. Nick, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, we're trying to get to Tecumseh right now. We're watching the thing that what Buck was watching, and we're actually trying to get back to the south right now. So we're going to get to Tecumseh, and we're probably going to keep on going past Tecumseh. Our winds had increased a little bit, but we don't see it because it's raining so hard. Back to you.
Okay, definitely. And so this is going to stay some of these neighborhoods that are out here. So this is right now south of Talavera, the neighborhood there, Talavera, south of Southmore High School. Still watching this. Moving to the east slowly, here's Broadmoor Elementary School, the old Broadmoor golf course right here. Here's I-35 to give perspective as to where we are. There's the Norman Healthplex. That's the circulation. We are about a mile, if even that, south of Southmore High School. Let me check back in with Storm Command. Michael, how's it look now? Michael, how's it look now?
Are you trying to... Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I was trying to hear you there. Yeah, so it looks like traffic is stopping on I-35. A lot of wind right here. And we are going down right into... So we were coming down towards Tecumseh right now, right at the Healthplex. So we'll tell you, if we start seeing any damage, people are stopped here on I-35 right now as we come up toward the Healthplex. You can see it right there in my shot. Yeah, things are starting to clear out a little bit. So let me look visually in the sky right now. It seems like, Damon, and you might be able to look at this on radar as well. It seemed like it kind of spun up real quick. And now the velocities are not as tight as they were. It's still spinning, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem like it's as tight. Maybe Jonathan could offer some expertise on that as well.
Yeah, we're looking. So definitely there's a surge of strong winds that's coming out of this. So putting in perspective exactly where we are, because we are hyper local on this one. So again, here's Briarwood Elementary, Southmore High School, very large neighborhood, Talavera. That's going to be right there on the west side of I-35. And then strong winds that are surging out towards the Norman Healthplex. Bart Connor, gymnastics right here. And then here you have, this will be on the north side of Max Westheimer Airport, surging out towards Hollywood Corners. So Hollywood Corners right here is going to be right there at that corner that where Buck is located, and then strong winds kind of surging up to the northeast. So here's Broadmoor Elementary School. Here's Heritage Trails Elementary School. What I'm watching right here is for a small area of circulation that is trying to spin up right here just south of Broadmoor Elementary School. Again, there's Broadmoor. Here's Heritage Trails Elementary. You're going to have a Best Buy, large, very busy commercial district right here. This is 19th Street, by the way, which then becomes 149th. Coming back into Oklahoma City. Here's Belmar. You're going to have Royal Bavaria right here. Strong winds and a bunch of neighborhoods that are going to be located. Jonathan, you have a funnel.
Damon, here's what's going on. So there's two-area circulations, the RFD, those arrows, that's where the RFD cut in, and there's a new mesocyclone. The old one is the circle on the left. The circle on the right, 1 mile northwest from Buck King, that's a new circulation. That's a new wall cloud. I have it on the Johnson control cam. You have a little tiny funnel hanging off the left side of the wall cloud there. Yeah. So new circulation. Michael asked for my opinion. That's my opinion. Circulation was on the left. New circulation formed. That's new circulation is going to be 2 miles north of Michael. It's going to be 1 mile northwest of Buck King. So 1 mile northwest of Hollywood Corners. Mm-hmm. And again, well-defined wall cloud there. And on the backside, at times, there's a little funnel poking down there. So new circulation. The storm has cycled. That's the area we're going to have to watch. So that's going to be 2 miles west of the Belmar Golf Club. That's going to be kind of coming down southeast 34th. Mm-hmm. And it's about 2 miles west of Sooner Road. That's the new circulation. Clear as day. This happens. You get old circulations pulled in, new circulations form as the RFD cut comes around, boom, you get the new tornado warning.
Yeah, so that's what we're watching right now. So again, highlighting, being specific, again, here's Broadmoor, and then you're going to have, here's Hollywood Corners, which, by the way, if you live in this area, you know exactly where Hollywood Corners is. Here's Belmar, again, Royal Bavaria, Sooner Road. Here's going to be 19th Street, Broadway, and then you're going to have this is going to stay south. Right now, we are south of Heritage Trails Elementary School, but this is surging to the east, and so there's going to be some strong winds with this as well as it continues to make its way towards the east, and it's headed very close to Moore Norman Tech. Again, headed very close to Moore Norman Tech. Let's check in with Chris Lee. Okay, real quick, Chris Lee, couple seconds, and we'll come back out to you. Chris, what do you see coming in the coal right now? What do you see coming in the coal?
Yeah, I am just to the east of Cole, looking to my southwest. This is a lowering to the south of Cole, seeing quite a bit of rotation. Have not seen anything come to the ground, but every once in a while it starts to wrap the rain all the way around this circulation area, which is what it did when it produced a tornado earlier. So this is the rotation area. It's going to go to the east of Cole, south and east of Cole. It's moving very slowly to the northeast, but we're watching it here from Highway 74B.
All right.
And we'll let you know.
Okay. We'll keep a close eye with you on Chris. And Chris is right in Cole. He'll let us know. Let's go back up into Moore. Back up into Norman right here, get an update once again with what we're seeing now coming in. Again, tornado warning still remains in effect. And so right now the circulation continues it's going to be south, just very close to Broadmoor Elementary School. Very close to Broadmoor. Definitely some strong winds that are about to surge right over Sooner Road. You can see a little area of a lowering right here, a rotation couplet. Okay, this could be right on top of Belmar and coming right up towards Royal Bavaria. This is south of Turtle Lake. You're going to have Bella Maria right here. There's going to be an On-Go right here. You have a Sonic right here. So this is going to be making its way just south of that. Here's 4th. Here's 19th. I mean, we're getting real close into this. And again, we're very close to Timber Creek Elementary School right about now, Turtle Lake, Pepperwell Oaks, and then headed towards Stanley Draper. Let me check back in with Buck. Buck, the circulation's right in front of you. Buck, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, we're looking right at it. It's not real organized right now. It's definitely have a lowering near the ground, but we've not seen anything come out of it yet, and we are right here beside it. I mean, we're within a mile of it probably, so we have a great view of it. We're going to stick right here, keep our eyes on it, and get back to you if we see anything.
Okay, so we see exactly where you are, Buck. Again, you're going to be very close to Belmar. Here's Timber Creek Elementary. There's Broadmoor, Turtle Lake. Again, for those that are familiar with this area, you have Turtle Lake, you have Bella Maria neighborhood right here. This is now coming out of Moore, coming back into OKC. This is technically, this area right here technically becomes back into OKC as we're now on the far eastern side of Moore. So if you're out by Heritage Trails or out towards Highland East, this is going to be staying south and east of you. Flood advisory just issued as well for this. Just add that to the list of everything else that we have ongoing with a lot of heavy rain that's now making its way through here. But tornado warning still remains for basically just very close to Belmar. Again, it's not a very tight couplet, but it's definitely there, and definitely getting some strong winds that are surging out with this as well. Once again, coming into right up the Sooner Road and coming very close. Again, there's Timber Creek Elementary School, and then you're going to have again, Royal Bavaria Restaurant. Again, I know this is an area that doesn't have a lot of commercial spots, but for those that are in this area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So again, you're close to Belmar and Timber Creek Elementary, coming right up towards Pepperwell Oaks. That's going to be on the east side of Sooner and right at Southeast 149th Street. Again, left-hand side of your television screen, we're looking, but there's Buck. There's Storm Command. Let me go back out to Michael. Michael, you and Buck are looking right into the heart of these strong winds in this area of rotation. What do you see, Michael?
Straight north. Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah, we're good, Kyle. Okay, we're going straight north here, Damon. So we have a lot of stored areas here just south. Yeah, you're calling it out on exactly where the intersections are. Where I'm seeing where the rotation is going to be 34th. Let's see, it's going to be very close to 34th and Eastern, and that's exactly where my camera is pointed right there. What I would tell you is that it's very ragged. As I look with my 360 camera, Damon, you can see that there's a lot of lowered areas all along here. One good thing about it is, even though it does have the tornado warning, and everybody needs to take their tornado precautions and stay there, is there's not, a singular funnel. There's not I don't see any power flashes or anything like that right now at this moment, but anytime it looks like that, man, it could develop at any moment.
It really could. It absolutely could. So once again, for those that are going to be anywhere from Belmar up towards Southeast 149th, so again, a couple commercial spots there. You have a Tinker Federal Credit Union, On-Go gas station. You have a Sonic right here, right at Southeast 149th and Sooner. Watching the circulation coming in. Michael showing these pictures. Buck is showing the pictures as well. This is a tornado warning, but nothing is on the ground. Now, it doesn't mean nothing can spin up in the next couple seconds, but still, we're watching it. Now, by the way, really concerned not only about the tornadoes that we're still watching, but also the flood threat that's really ramping up as well. Let me check in with Chris Lee real quick. Chris Lee, what do you see coming into Cole right now? We see circulation couplet on the radar. What do you see visually?
Yeah, we're still watching this lowering, and it's definitely getting wrapped up into the rain. We have a pretty good view of it, and we can see that it is rotating and coming towards the ground. Don't see anything on the ground at this point, but very definitely concerned. This is the area of rotation. We're just a little bit east of the town of Cole, and it's just to the south of the highway. So this is going to go to the east of Cole. Can't tell. I'm starting to lose a little bit of definition. It's getting very close to the ground, Damon.
It really is. We can definitely see that, Chris. Your pictures right here are really helping us out, helping us all out, helping Oklahoma out, and definitely helping out those in Cole about what's headed in this direction. Definitely lowering. We'll continue to watch it closely. We'll go back over to Moore. We'll check back in with Cole here in just a second. Let's go back up into Cleveland County at this current track again, getting close to Norman, but it's still down by Cole. But if you're in Cleveland County right now, again, I know the sirens are sounding, tornado warning until 9 o'clock for another 27 minutes. Definitely getting some strong winds that are surging out, by the way, east of I-35. East of I-35 and east of Sooner Road as well. Headed out towards Franklin, which you have right here, Robin Hill School. Right now, any area of circulation, this is going to be very close to, there's a Markham's going to be located here just right across from Belmar, and this is going to be just located just south of the Sonic there. That's going to be on the east side of Sooner Road. Again, that's where we're finding some of these strong winds are now really starting to get pulled into this, and that's going to surge out towards Franklin and down towards Robin Hill School. They're right at the corner of Franklin. So Franklin, 849, Lake Stanley Draper, 854, Stella, 929 Dale and McLeod. We're going out towards 1030 with this right here. Again, right now, Michael and Buck, they have been reporting, giving us a lot of valuable information, really helping to make sure that you have all the facts right now. And that's what we're watching right now. Okay, let me go back down to Cole. Like, we're going to be jumping back and forth. More, we'll come back to you in just a second, but we are concerned about Cole. Now, let me go out to Chris Lee. Chris, what do you see?
Yeah, it definitely is very close to the ground. We can see rotation. Don't see anything coming to the ground yet. This is to the south of Highway 74B. We're just about 1 mile east of the town of Cole. Very rural out here, but we can see, like I said, it's very definitely rotating, and at times it's come fairly close to the ground. Right now, I don't see anything on the ground. But it is kind of, you see little funnels pointing towards the ground at times. And then sometimes the rain will wrap all the way around it. And that's what it did when it tornadoed earlier that we saw the tornado. The rain, the circulation caused the rain to wrap all the way around it. You can kind of see it doing that. The rain is to the right side of the screen, that darker part. But now there's two funnels, but the main rotation seems to be that one on the center of the screen.
Now we're definitely keeping a very close eye on that for Cole. I tell you what, Cole, look, I understand the concerns you have right now based off of what you've had to experience in the last couple of weeks. So Cole, I understand how you're feeling right now. Right now, this is south of Cole, but Chris Lee is watching it. We still see that rotating couplet at this current track. Cole now 8:58 Goldsby, OU National Weather Center there at 9:10. It's about another 40 minutes from now, so we'll continue to watch this. Jonathan, how's it looking back up, by the way, up in Cleveland County? We were watching some strong winds earlier, wrapping around east of Sooner. What stands out to you now?
Yeah, great question there, Damon. So, well, Michael's in the right spot, I'll tell you that much. I think the RFD, which is an acronym for rear flank downdraft winds, I think the winds have kind of spun around through this area right here where I'm drawing can we take the arrows. There may be some circulation between Buck and between Storm Command there. That's going to be east of I-35, between I-35 and Sooner Road there near Heritage Trails Elementary School and then Broadmoor Elementary School. So we'll have to watch that closely. I don't know. Is Chris Lee's?
Yeah, copy that straight.
Okay. We probably need to go back down to Chris Lee. I think there's nothing indicative right now of the Norman storm, the more Norman storm, Damon, that says to me it's screaming tornado right now.
Yeah.
So on the rotation side, it's a 2 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, and I would say based off of what we see right now, again, north side of Moore up into northern Cleveland County, a lot of rain coming down, by the way. But nothing really says, look, you need to be jumping into your tornado shelter right now with that stuff. Really, the circulation has really improved in a pretty big way. Let's go back out to Chris Lee, out by Cole. Chris, what do you have?
Yeah, that funnel has come very, very close to the ground. It may be, I don't see the condensation all the way to the ground, but you can see it's gotten very close to the ground. I don't see any debris or anything like that. But that is much closer to the ground than it was when we spoke just a few minutes ago. It is now, it's now just a little bit, it's just to the south of 74B, within probably a quarter mile of where we are, due south. We're about a mile east of the town of Cole. We kind of been sitting here on a bridge for the last 30 minutes while watching it get closer. It is going to go to our south, but you can see the shape of it. It just appears to me that if it's not on the ground, it's very close to the ground. I can't see any debris coming up, but you can see condensation almost to the ground and very rapid rotation in there. I know we're starting to lose a little bit of light, but it looks very close to being a tornado on the ground.
It's definitely. I mean, Chris, when you pan out like that, we can definitely see it. Chris, that's close, Chris. Chris, that's real close.
Yeah, I think it's on the ground. I think you just can't see it behind those trees or whatever, and a lot of times it's not picking up enough debris to show. And there's not anything but trees or open field over there. But yeah, I would say looking at that shape,
oh, yes.
I'll zoom out a little bit. You can see that, it's definitely all the way to the ground now.
Yeah, that's definitely a tornado. That is definitely a tornado. Look at that right here. Okay, so this is coming in for Chris Lee. It's coming from Chris Lee. Again, you can see it's white. It's white, and so given the kind of the daylight situation we're in right now, but that's it right now. Hey, Chris, just a heads up from what we see here in the TV station, if you can zoom out just a little bit, kind of gives us a better perspective of it because we can contrast it with what's surrounding it. But there it is right there. Chris, that is definitely on the ground, Chris. And so, and I know Cole. Cole, I'm telling you right now, I feel for you, Cole. You got to go back in your tornado shelter, Cole. Please go into your tornado shelter right now with this storm or the innermost room of your house. It's very close. It's very close to Cole. Too close for comfort. Let's do a 2-box because it looks like this is going to be on the east side of Cole. If you're just on the east side of Cole, then this is where this tornado is. Again, I want to put the radar back up here. We'll keep Chris Lee's shot up there, but that's definitely there. So there's Cole. And so back a couple weeks ago when we had the tornado that came through, it came in like this. So it came in on the west and the north side of Cole. Here we are now on the east side of Cole. So Cole, if you're in downtown Cole, you're okay. But if you're on the east side of Cole, there it is right there. You can see on the left-hand side of your television screen. Coming in from Chris Lee, that right there, that's the tornado. And that same storm, by the way, here's Norman on the top of your television screen. On the south side of Norman, here's Goldsby. It's heading in your direction. That thing's on the ground. Chris, what do you see? You see any power flashes?
Very definitely on the ground. No, I'm not seeing any power flashes. There are not. I don't know that it's crossed any power lines, but it definitely is on the ground now. It's moving. It's probably now a couple of miles east of Cole, moving away from Cole, and it will be going north of Washington, I believe.
Yeah, and so we definitely see this. So by the way, again, if you're east of Cole, you're in your tornado shelter right now. Norman, this was headed in your direction too, by the way. So I want you to be aware of that. But again, this is the second tornado that Chris has seen today. The first tornado was what prompted the tornado warning for Tuttle.
We have it in our shot too, Sabrina.
Okay, Nick, we hear you live on KOCO 5 now. Chris and Nick are both on this storm. So we'll go out to Nick right now. Nick, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, we got to look at it as we exited on off the interstate. We got a little look at the tornado. We saw it's got that little white shape to it. We're gonna hit the chaser convergence now. There's a lot of people still out here, but we're trying to acclimate ourselves. It looks like it looks like it's gonna come up a little towards looks like Goldsby area, and yep, there it is. Hold on, let me get it back in the shot just for you. There it is. Yeah, you can see it with 360 cam, right there.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, we can definitely see it. We can definitely see it. So it's right here, by the way. Again, I know we're losing a bit of daylight, but there it is right there. Okay, so, excuse me. Jonathan, take it over just for a second. What do you see on the radar?
You bet. Yeah, well, Damon, absolutely. We're losing daylight, low contrast. Chris Lee, Nick Smith, they're on the storm. They have it covered from two different perspectives. So Nick is to the east, so he might get a little bit of contrast with it. Chris Lee is right there. Circulation, we're watching on radar, really ramped up, and that's what we're getting out of the mesocyclone is that big laminar funnel. It looked like a truncated cigar cone. Now it looks a little bit more like an elephant trunk. Not really wide at the ground, but watching it really closely. Damon, also just want to let you know, we need to probably revisit the Norman storm just a little bit here in a couple minutes and check in with Michael because circulation could be coming up a little bit with that. But again, and so that must be, is that Nick Smith?
Yeah,
that's Nick on remote 14. So Nick has it, and then Chris Lee's a lot closer to it.
We definitely getting kind of different perspectives from it. Chris is really close, Nick a bit farther out, but we can definitely see. I mean, that thing's coming down. Let's go back out to Chris Lee. Chris, what do you see?
Yeah, I've gone to IR mode on the camera, and I can see it a lot better. It's really hard to see. Honestly, with my eyes, if I didn't have the infrared, I don't know that I would see it, notice even what it is. But it's about to cross the road. This is 74B, and you can see it's going to cross the road a little bit in front of us. We're going to have to hold up here, but we're about 3 miles. 3 miles east of Cole, and it is crossing the highway right now. 74B highway.
Okay, we're going to keep a close eye on this. We do need to go back into Cleveland County because brand new tornado warning has just been issued. And so again, this coming from Chris and Nick Smith, giving you a bit of a different perspective. So brand new tornado warning, by the way, has just been issued. And so this could be, by the way, it's going to be for that southern cell. So we'll get back to that one. But I do want to at least get an update real quick for those that are in Cleveland County, out towards Franklin. Big, massive storms coming in right now, and now moving out towards Stanley Draper. Let me check in with Storm Command real quick. Michael, what do you see from where you are?
Well, Damon, it really looks like at this point, the one that's over Moore has really the velocities of it's become very disorganized. If anything forms with this, it's going to be over south of Stanley Draper and probably moving over more toward far northeastern Cleveland County. But there is nothing really that looks. I mean, I know it still has a tornado warning, but there's just nothing really tight, and we haven't seen anything visually. Might check with Buck. Buck might have just we saw him just a moment ago. You might check with him and see if he's got a little different perspective, but I'm just not seeing anything that would indicate to me that there's tornado right at this moment.
Okay. Just want to give a quick update for those in Cleveland County. Okay, we'll go back down to Cole, back down to Norman. This new tornado warning does extend, by the way, into Pottawatomie County. Let's check back in with Chris Lee. Chris, you're right on top of the circulation. Chris, what do you see?
Yeah, the tornado has lifted. You can see the funnel. The needle funnel is still up there. I'm looking off to my north west from the highway, but that is, you can still see the funnel, but it seems to be retreating up into the clouds. So I don't believe it is. I don't believe it's on the ground. Now, I'm certain it's not on the ground right now. It crossed the road. Did not see any damage. Jason, do you see anything, any kind of trees or anything like that? No, we didn't see any kind of damage. So hopefully not much damage with this, at least at the road. Usually if there's power lines or anything, fences, trees, things like that will get in the way, then we'll see that. But I honestly did not see any of that when we went through the path where it crossed the road. So either it was up off the ground or doing very little damage at that point.
Okay, well, we're keeping a close eye. And again, out here, Cole, up towards Goldsby, feels like we're doing it all over again right now. At least this tornado, as of right now, it's hasn't been as large as what we had a couple weeks ago, but it is headed towards the south side of Norman, down towards OU. This is it, Goldsby. You're in your tornado shelter right now, innermost room of your house. This is coming very close to town. And again, we have Chris Lee right here. We have Nick Smith right here, keeping a real close eye on this storm once again as it continues to make its way up to the north. So tornado warning up for Moore on the west side of Stanley Draper. Is much weaker now, but this storm is still now the dominant one. It feels like with this as it's moving up towards Goldsby and eventually down towards the south side of Norman, out by OU. So once again, circulation couplet very well defined on the radar, and it's going to cross over I-35 here in just a few minutes. Again, here's I-35 right here. Here's Goldsby. We're about 4 miles or so west of I-35, and Chris Lee's right on it, and Nick Smith is right on this as well. Both of them giving us a fantastic view of this storm to help you know exactly what's coming in your direction. What's coming towards you, Goldsby, it's what you see here on the left-hand side of your television screen. And our storm chasers, they have night vision, so they're switching their cameras over, giving you an even more detailed view of what's coming in as the sun is now setting, now that it's almost 9 o'clock. So once again, there's Chris, there's Nick Smith. Let me check in with Nick Smith if I can, because Nick, you're looking right into this cell. Nick, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, Damon, we are heading back to I-35. So we saw the tornado. You saw that just live just a few minutes ago, and then we saw it lift like what Chris said. But we saw that a little bit of it started. It pulled back up, and I saw actually the wall cloud drop down a little bit again, and then we saw a big power flash underneath it. I don't know if that was a gust of wind coming out of it or if the tornado was back on the ground. We just couldn't see it. But I would treat this thing like it's on the ground. I mean, that's the way I do it, just because we literally got off the interstate and saw it, and you could see it just clear as day with our 360 cam, with that night vision technology. It's unbelievable. Blessed to have it, and we were able to capture that. Oh, it's back on the ground.
Back out to Chris Lee. Chris, we just heard you say it's on the ground. What do you see?
You can't see it because it's behind the tree right now, but as soon as we move, see, there it is.
My shot.
It's on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here, he'll get that. There it is right there. So again, using night vision, there it is right there.
Oh,
that's it right there. So this is from Chris. This is from Nick. We're on the east side of Cole, headed up towards Goldsby. Again, Goldsby in your innermost room of your house into your tornado shelter. Here it is right here. It's going to be this storm. It looks like it's been kind of coming down and going back up, going down and going back up. Looks like it's back up. Let me go back out to Chris. Chris, what do you see right now, Chris?
It does look like it's back up, and I knew when Nick was saying that about seeing the power flash, what'll happen is the rotation that is very tight in that funnel will kind of widen out, and then the circulation will be very strong at the base for a few minutes. It appears to have done that now, and you don't have that cone, that funnel all the way to the ground. You do have kind of that lowered area, and that whole thing is rotating. We've been watching that, so it's been producing tornadoes out of that area. That's what we've been watching all night long.
Okay, so heads up for those in Noble and Goldsby, headed in your direction. Goldsby, especially in your shelter, innermost room of your house with this storm. Again, here's the circulation. We are about a mile southwest of Goldsby. This is very close, by the way, of crossing. It will cross over I-35 south of the Riverwind Casino. But here's the circulation right here. So here's Goldsby, I-35. That's circulation on the left-hand side of your television screen using our night vision. There's definitely a lot. Looks like there's a lot of areas of rotation within this. Multi-vortex, absolutely. Here it is spinning right now, and this is going to be just north of State Highway 74B, right coming up towards State Highway 74, and that's a debris right there. We are picking up debris. See that blue? It takes a little bit of radar here, but when you pair up the velocity and that blue, that's debris. So we are definitely getting debris in this storm, headed towards Goldsby, tornado shelter, innermost room right now. On the left-hand side of your television screen, we know there's debris getting picked up within this because we can see it with our debris tracker. Let me go out to Nick Smith. Nick has a bit of a different perspective of this. Nick, we have debris. We're picking it up with our radar, with our technology. Nick, what do you see?
Absolutely, Damon. We're not far from it right here. We're just on I-35, and we are just trying to get back on the other side right now. I follow this thing as it comes into the south side of Norman and into see those power flashes. I don't see it actually on the ground right now, but I'm not going to trust that just because of what I saw a minute ago. It looked like we didn't see the condensation funnel back down. It had gone back up, and then all of a sudden we saw those power flashes. So we're going to keep on going. We're going to get up here and get in a good position to be able to see this thing as it gets a little bit closer. Back to you, Damon.
Okay, we're going to come back to you in a second. Let's put the radar back up. We'll put the radar back up because this is really starting to ramp up. This is getting stronger and stronger. Very well could be one of the stronger couplets that we have seen so far. As we told you, right around sunset, those low-level winds are just rushing into this, and so this is now beginning to rotate. Once again, Goldsby, Noble, South Norman in your shelter. Yes, I know, South Norman. We had a tornado back at the end of February. We're watching this one real closely, even as you make your way out towards Thunderbird as well. This current track, it will make its way up towards Lake Thunderbird, and very well could get very close to Highway 9, if not just stay south, but we're going to watch it. But that's the tornado. There's Goldsby. Goldsby, you have to be in your shelter, the innermost room of your house with the storm moving in. We have definitely been seeing some well-defined lowerings. Tornadoes have been skipping across the ground, but our radar, our technology here is indeed picking up on debris. It is picking up debris with this cell right here, about to come right into Goldsby. Not moving very quickly, but it is still moving. Let me go back out to Chris Lee. Chris Lee, what do you see?
Yeah, it looks like we have another funnel coming down here in the center. We're starting to get wraparound rain here where we are, indicating that the circulation is getting stronger. You can see the clouds kind of moving around there in the rotation there. Don't see a funnel on the ground right now. There have been times when it's been wrapped in rain and almost impossible to see. And you can see the rain coming by us here. But right now, I'm looking right at an area of rotation, and I feel fairly certain I would see it if it were on the ground right now. And while it's rotating and could drop one very quickly, I don't see one on the ground right at this moment. But you can see the rotation right there in the center of the screen. That's just a mile or two to the east of I'm sorry, to the west of I-35, a little bit south of Goldsby, but headed towards the Goldsby area for sure.
Okay, let's put the radar back up. Here we are right here. Here's Goldsby. It's slowed down. It is really, really slowed down. Cole, by the way, you're good, okay? Cole, the threat's not over for you for the rest of the evening, or at least for this storm, as this is now moving up to northeast. But Nick, this is about 1 mile. There's an update. Look how slow it moved, by the way. It didn't move very fast. But there's Nick. There's Chris Lee. I mean, we have this storm. We're looking right into it, both from the north and down to the south. That's your circulation. And so it's coming up very close to the tree farm there on the west side of Goldsby, right along 290th Street. This is going to be just south of the Riverwind Casino. The Riverwind Casino is going to be right behind our banner right here. But this is I-35. Here's the Canadian River. Here's OU, National Weather Center, and watching this circulation at this current track. It's headed towards Goldsby. Will likely cross the river, may stay just barely south of Norman. Or I should be saying just barely south of OU. But we're going to watch it scan by scan. So on the left-hand side of your television screen, again, our crews, our chasers, using their night vision, able to look at this storm at a bit of a different perspective. Right now, circulation, we're seeing that up in the cloud. The storm has produced a few tornadoes already, jumping across the ground. But right now, that's the circulation. So, tornado warning continues for this storm as it's moving to the east. Jonathan, by the way, we got a brand new tornado warning that was just issued that we got to go up into Cleveland County, into Oklahoma County as well. Get an update on that. And so that's going to include Newalla, McLeod. That's the same storm, by the way, that went through Moore, and so this tornado warning was extended until 9:15. It does include southeastern Oklahoma County. There is Buck. There is Shane. Shane's going to be on the east side of Stanley Draper. There's Buck on the north side right now. Do we have? Is Buck available to talk? Let's go out to Buck right now, and then we'll go to Shane. So Buck first. Buck, you're on the west side of Stanley Draper. What do you see right now, Buck?
Damon, that's the cell that we were watching to the north that had the rotation has kind of fallen apart. This is what is left of it. We're looking due north on Stanley Draper Drive and 104th Street. It's really kind of it's real ragged. It's really broken up.
Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. Is Shane available to talk to? Do we have Shane available to talk to? Let me talk to Shane. Okay. Let's go out to Shane. Shane's going to be on the east side of Stanley Draper in this tornado warning that's going to be for northeastern Cleveland County, southeastern Oklahoma County. Shane, what do you see?
Well, Damon, we've been out here on the east side of these storms as they've been moving through the southern part of the metro. We haven't even seen any hail or anything like that. At one time, we thought we saw a little bit of hail. It was hard to tell, but it had already passed. So we're out here right in front of it. So if these guys can't keep up with it, we're going to be the ones that intercept it. But as of right now, just mostly out here in this area is rain. However, the storm sirens are sounding out here. So those that have storm sirens close to their house, you can hear the storm sirens sounding. So you may want to be ready to take shelter and be prepared. Damon, back to you.
Okay, we'll watch it closely. Let's go back over to the radar right now, just kind of show everyone what's happening. So, and there's a lot ongoing right now back at the radar. So again, this tornado warning, we have it surrounded with Buck, and we have it surrounded with Shane. They'll keep a close eye on this. Watching this cell down by Rosedale, watching that cell out by Alec. This one it's definitely showing some rotation southeast of Rosedale. We'll continue to watch it closely. Brand new tornado warning was just issued. There you go for Garvin County. And then making its way towards Pottawatomie County. So there you go. Tornado warning with that cell. That's going to be west of Byers. We'll continue to watch it. Let's go back up to Goldsby. Let's go back up to Goldsby here. For those that are in Norman, this is the storm that we're watching for you right now. We have it surrounded. There's Storm Command. There's Nick. There's Chris Lee. It's crossing right over I-35 as we speak. It's getting very close. There's your circulation couplet. Definitely, it is a slow-moving storm. It's coming right over Goldsby. Goldsby, you need to be in your shelter, innermost room. Let's check in with Chris Lee right now. Chris, we're watching the circulation come right into Goldsby. Two areas, by the way, one over Goldsby, one right on the Canadian River.
That's going to be the new area circulation.
Yeah, that'll be the new one right there. Let's check in with Chris. Chris, what do you see right now coming into Goldsby?
Yeah, we're just now coming into Goldsby. Sirens are going off here. A lot of cars pulled off. I know the interstate has been closed down. They're trying to, not let anybody drive into the tornado. We're losing our daylight, and that's the problem. I don't see anything right now on the ground, and haven't for the last few minutes. But I don't have the definition that I had. I mean, we're kind of reaching the edge of what our cameras are capable of, and right now I just do not see anything on the ground. We're kind of transitioning, looking for power flashes, but not seeing anything of that either. But give you a little shot here. This is you see the lights lined up over there. That's I-35. But trucks are all lined up, and nobody's going anywhere along there as this tornado or the circulation passes across I-35 just north of Goldsby. Damon?
Okay, so we're watching it for Goldsby, watching it for Noble as well. There's Noble, and so we're keeping a real close eye on this one as it continues to move to the east, as it looks like a new area of circulation is now picking up on the east side of I-35, getting ready to cross right over the Canadian River. Let's check in with Storm Command. Michael, watching. No storm. Okay, we'll check back in with Michael in just a little bit. There's Nick, by the way. So watching this tornado warning continue to move to the east. Let's go out to Nick. Nick, what do you see right now?
Yeah, Damon, we are on Highway 9 East. We're coming up. I think this is McGee Avenue or McGee Drive, and we have blinding rain right now. Let me spin the 360 camera back off to the south. We had a close call, Damon. I'm not gonna lie. People were stopping under the overpass, and I'm not gonna get on a soapbox, but I'm just saying it about caused us to get in a bad spot with that tornado. So it's just so dangerous, and I mean, it scares me for the people that are still there. Back to you.
Okay, we'll watch it and be safe out there again with this. So again, we're watching two areas of spin right now. Here we are, Goldsby, new area of rotation now picking up as we go towards Noble. So Noble needs to be in the innermost room of your house. By the way, a ton of rain coming down in Norman right now. I have to watch out for some flooding with this as well as this continues to move to the east. So still finding an area of spin. It's not very tight, but it's still there for Goldsby. And then also as you go down towards Noble. So we're going to continue to watch this. We are still working multiple tornado warnings that we need to watch. Let's go back up into Oklahoma County and up into northeastern Cleveland County. It's going to be up by Stanley Draper, just to give those that are going to be out towards Newalla, towards Stella. This tornado warning remains, although as of right now, we're so close to the radar, but right now the rotation doesn't appear to be all that strong. There's still some areas of spin with this making its way just very close to Stanley Draper. But otherwise, it looks like this is...
Damon?
Yeah?
I think it's outflow dominant.
Yeah, I can see it right here.
So you can see all the winds have busted out. So the RFD winds have come through here. There's a little circulation right about there, but it doesn't look real strong. I'm going to switch back. So that's velocity. Mm-hmm. Here's the reflectivity. And you can even see it in the reflectivity field. So could there be a little hiccup right in there where that circle is? Absolutely. But on a scale like 1 to 5, I'll give it a 2.5. A 2.5 on that. It's not as big of a concern as what I'm really concerned about what's going to happen east of Goldsby and Noble. Noble, listen to me. The area of circulation, there was two areas of circulation. I'm going to back up the radar here a little bit so you can see it. When it was back near Goldsby, this is what Chris Lee had, and that was a tornado. That got pulled in, right? So that got pulled in here. And it's dead. It's gone. New circulation's right there. This is how it happens every time. You get a new circulation on the southeast side of the storm, and that's where you're going to have the new tornado warning. So, Damon, I'm really concerned about that second circle I've highlighted right there. That's going to be the new area of circulation. That would be the new tornado. Next on Highway 9, Storm Command's right there. They'll see it cross Highway 9 here in a couple miles.
Okay, and yeah, definitely we'll be checking in with them in just a bit. By the way, so it definitely looks like at least up towards Oklahoma County, southeastern Oklahoma County, northeastern Cleveland County, things are trending down when it comes to tornado. Still ongoing. This one still is concerning for those of us in Noble. Watching this one for Noble. Again, here we are right now. Here's 77. This is now east of I-35 in between Goldsby and Noble, about to cross right over the Canadian River. So we'll be watching this one. Let's.
It's very suspect.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that hook in Noble is, I think, potentially maybe it's ramping up.
Yeah, it's ramping up.
It's trending up. It's not as tight as circulation back near Goldsby, but is trending up. There's nothing in front of it to stop it, to cut off the inflow to it.
Yeah, that's definitely that, and this is what we're doing. We got to analyze this live on air. By the way, we'll come back to this, Noble, in just a second. We'll put a track on here. Denver 9:35, Lake Thunderbird 9:36, Little Axe and Stella 9:46. Let's go down to this tornado warning real quick. Just give those an update in southern Pottawatomie County and going in towards Seminole County. What we're seeing right now, and so there's definitely an area of rotation at southeast of Rosedale. That's a tornado warning. Gwinnett, Asher. Keeping a close eye. It's all by itself, by the way. Has some inflow into it. It's definitely there. So northwest of Byers. This is moving up to northeast. This will stay north of Stratford. But Asher, Gwinnett, watching this real closely. It's moving up to the northeast. And again, we're working a handful of tornado warnings right now. There's definitely rotation with that. That's southeast of Rosedale, right along the Canadian River. Right now, tornado warning, we have one that's not looking all that impressive at all out towards Cleveland County. Northeastern Cleveland County, southeastern Oklahoma County. This one's still concerning. Cleveland County, here we are again, coming into Noble right now. Again, coming into Noble, there's Storm Command, there's Nick, there's Chris, there's Shane, watching this storm as it continues to move up to northeast, headed towards Denver, Little Axe, Lake Thunderbird, Stella, and as you go down towards Pink as well. So at this moment, we are working 3 tornado warnings that we have ongoing right now. One that is going to include going in now to southern Pottawatomie County, 2 that are currently in Cleveland County, coming into Oklahoma County, although that one's trending down. This one's still the strongest one that we have right here. Noble, their Storm Command. We'll see if we can talk to Michael in just a bit here because he's coming up on this, right up to the Highway 77 exit. And so that continues to be ongoing. Is Michael available? Let's go out to Michael right now. Michael, watching this area of rotation that's now coming up on the north side of Noble. Michael, what do you see from Storm Command?
Yeah, we're headed south straight down into Noble. We have rain, Damon. I'm going to I'll be able to give you a better update here. Probably, it doesn't take 5 minutes to get to Noble from where we're at. So I see it on radar, and I just told Kyle, I was like, there's probably a tornado in Noble right now. So it's unnerving for us because we want to be there and we want to confirm that. But right now, radar tells us that there is a tornado in Noble. You have to be in your shelter right now.
Totally agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, if you're in Noble, you're in your shelter right now. Innermost room of your house, or you're in your tornado shelters. That circulation is picking up. Let's put the radar back here, and we'll put Michael shot there on the left-hand side of your television screen here. But here's Michael going into Noble right now. He's looking right into this. So we'll have to watch it, but this is crossing right over 77. So here's downtown Noble. We're just north of it by just a little bit here. Power flashes. We'll go out to Michael. Michael had power flashes. What do you see?
Yeah, we just have a tornado right in front of us. The cone was lit up, and all the power went out. Well, I do have a little bit of power over to my left, Damon. We have a tornado right in front of us right now. This is in Noble, and it is on 177. It's on Main Street. Yeah, 177 there. Or sorry, 77 going down into Noble.
Yeah, Michael.
Oh my gosh,
Michael,
it's in Noble right now.
It's in Noble. It's right on top of Noble right now. We definitely see it. It's picking up, and that circulation couplet. It's right in front of you, Michael. It's right on top of the highway. Again, north side of Noble, in your shelter, innermost room. Michael reporting power flashes. Michael, what's this? What are these? Is this are you coming up on damage, Michael? What do you see?
No, that's just police just letting people know don't drive into the tornado.
Okay, so we're watching this again. Heavy police presence right here. Again, the tornado went right in front of Michael. Let's see more power flashes, or maybe that was a little reflection there. Okay, anyways, let's put the radar up. Let's keep Michael shot on the left-hand side of your television screen. Want to show exactly where the tornado is. Again, right where the tornado is. It's right here. We're just a couple yards north of downtown Noble. Michael, what do you see?
Yeah, more power flashes. It's on the ground. It's on the ground in Noble.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. We see your location right here. Here's a tornado. Again, in your north side of Noble. Tornado shelter, innermost room. That is the tornado. Michael's looking right at it. It's moving to the east. Power flashes. That means that it's hitting stuff right now, and it's taking out power lines. Michael, you have a very good visual into this. Michael, what do you see?
Well, as of right now, we had to move east, Damon, because this tornado I have to give it a little bit more breathing room. It's not like it was in the daytime, and it's coming toward us. So we have to get out ahead of it a little bit. I know you don't see it here. I'm going to bring my 360 camera back around just for a minute because we've got a lot of trees over here right now. It's a ton of lightning here as I'm driving down the road. I'll be watching for a place where we can pull over and get a view of it. But just know there's a tornado ongoing in Noble right now.
We know our crews are out there being safe, but again, we're watching. That is the tornado. It's on the north side of Noble. It's on the north side of Noble, moving to the east northeast, headed up towards Cedar Lane, and it's about to cross right over 8th Street, headed towards 48th Street, north of Etowah Road. This is going to stay south of Norman, but that's the tornado in Noble right now, moving up to the northeast. Once again, north side of Noble, you're in your tornado shelter, innermost room. If you're on the south side of Noble, you're okay, just barely, but this is staying just north of you, headed up right towards Michael. Michael, any update? What are you seeing?
Yeah, we're going to turn around right here. We're going to back up. We don't have anybody around here. We're going to back up and find a little place to pull over so we can get a view. We have a lot of trees around us, Damon, so this gets very dicey at night. In the trees, we've done this before, like over here with Etowah, when back on April 19th, when the Cole tornado happened. Going back, Kyle, you're going to see the place to turn in right here to your right, and this will give us the possibility of getting a view of the tornado, Damon. But at this point, just know, oh, man, may have been more power flash. Keep going, Kyle. Keep going. Pull up further.
Okay, Michael. So
give me just a minute. Give me just a minute, and then come back to me once I get a view.
Yeah, we'll let you guys do what you got to do. And Sabrina, she'll be talking to you here in just a second. But that's the tornado moving very slowly. This thing has slowed down quite a bit. It's now east of 77. Here it is on top of 8th Street, north side of 8th Street. This is Norman. So Norman, you're okay with this? This is staying south of you. There's Chris. There's Nick. That's the tornado. This is going to be, gosh, it almost feels, it feels like it's just slowed down. So this is south of Walmart, areas that were impacted by the tornadoes at the end of February. This is staying south of you. But that's the tornado right there on the north side of Noble by just a couple yards. I mean, we're still inside the city limits of Noble here, moving up to the northeast. And at this current track, here's Lake Thunderbird on the top right-hand side of your television screen. We're getting real close, but it's slow movement. It is taking its time. Let's hope that this is like all the other tornadoes out there, that they just don't last that long. But we can't make that call yet, especially these low-level winds are now just kind of feeding this and allowing this threat to continue. So once again, Noble in your tornado shelter, innermost room of your house, north side, northeast side of Noble. If you're on the south side of Noble, west side of Noble, you're in a better spot now. So the circulation's out east of you. And if you're out by Goldsby, you're in a better spot as well. Real quick, Jonathan, let's just zoom out, kind of show everyone what's happening right now because we are working. Technically, I know there are 3 tornado warnings ongoing, although the one that's up in northeastern Cleveland County, that's gonna drop here in about 2 minutes. We have this in Rosedale, northeast of Rosedale, headed up towards Gwinnett. Definitely can see inflow on this, right on top of the Canadian River. Moving up towards Avoca, of Asher, and then Maud. We'll continue to watch that. Let's go back up to Noble, south of Norman, get an update on this storm, this tornado warning that continues. And so if you're in Norman, this is staying south of you. If you're in Moore, you're okay for the rest of the night here. But right now, Noble, real concern. How's Michael doing? Michael okay? Okay, let's go back out to Michael. Michael, what are you seeing right now, Michael?
Well, we've got a lot of lightning flash. I'm trying to distinguish between, there was no question we had the power flash when it was hitting in Noble. We're 1 mile now northeast of Noble, looking back to the southwest. Oh man, if it is, it's going to be right in here, just to our south. We're keeping an eye peeled for the tornado right now, Damon. We can hear outdoor warning sirens going off. It's coming in just to our south right here. So hard with all these trees, but we have to stop here for a minute to see what kind of a view we have. But Kyle, I think we're going to have to go ahead and back up and go east because it's going to surge in on top of us if we don't. We've got to give it a little bit more breathing room here, Damon. A little bit dicey at night, no doubt. So we'll do our best here on tracking it. But once you get east of I-35, it's a totally different ball game. Trees, hills, it's a nightmare to try to chase at night.
It absolutely is. So all of our chasers out here, again, your safety is number one. You do what you got to do. Your reports are important, but your safety is more important to us. So, Chris, Nick, Storm Command, we see you. Buck and Shane, we see you as well. Derek down to the south. Your safety is number one. So right now, again, Noble moving up to northeast. By the way, here's another inflow that's kind of setting up that we were just talking about right over Lake Thunderbird. Jonathan, how's the circulation look with this?
It's not real well defined on radar. You're talking about this thing right here? Yeah, that's I was just talking to Sabrina. So Chris Lee's coming down Highway 9, about 4 miles east of him and 2 miles north between Denver and Lake Thunderbird. There's another area. Remember the night of the 19th? And we had, like, they just hooked up. We had, like, this daisy chain, and they just get balanced, and you have these eddies. These are not classic supercells. They're like two supercells dancing together, and then you have areas of circulation, and we just have to pick them out. Michael's right there in Noble. Perfect spot. Chris Lee's going to see this next circulation coming up west of Little Axe.
Okay, yeah, and hopefully we don't get deviant motion out of these like we did on the 19th, because that's where these storms just kind of move in very weird, unique directions. But as of right now, moving up to the northeast, very slowly too, by the way, not very fast, 15 miles per hour. Not very fast moving storms here. So there's Chris, there's Nick. There is Michael. Right now, area of rotation that we have here is going to be on the far north side of Noble, up towards 8th Street. So, by the way, there's OU. We're going to be south of OU, south of, let's see, there's a on Q. And then you have areas that were impacted by the tornado back at the end of February here. And again, even if there's a Buffalo Wild Wings and a bunch of kind of just busy commercial area right here. So we're south of that. Power flashes from Michael. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, so we're starting to get a view of the lowered area now. I'm looking for a condensation funnel. Again, there is a funnel, okay? I don't see it actually in contact with the ground, but here's the thing. We've seen this time and time again today where you don't have to have a full condensation funnel all the way to the ground to have a tornado. I mean, that's tornado chasing 101, right? You don't have to always have a condensation funnel on the ground in order to have damaging spinning winds underneath the tornado. That's what a tornado is. And so it is very, very dicey out here tonight because this circulation spun up east of the tornado that crossed near Goldsby, from Cole over to Goldsby. Now you can see there's another huge lowering with this circulation, and we know it's already hit Noble. So the odds of it spinning up again because of what it's already done are pretty high. It's probably going to produce another tornado, to be honest.
And Michael, I definitely agree with you on that one. The tornado risk still continues, and it will continue. It will continue for a while. Some of the higher resolution data that I'm just looking at over here shows that we may see more development down by Lawton that would come up in this direction that would impact us after this tornado watch is set to expire at 11 o'clock. So we may be in this for a while here, but there's Storm Command, there's Nick, there's your circulation right there, northeast of Noble. Tornado warning remains Noble. This is now lifting northeast of you. So downtown Noble, this is now east of you. You're in a better spot now. But if you're up towards Lake Thunderbird, Denver, right along Highway 9 here, as you make way south of the dam, I got to watch this one. I got to watch this one real closely, and there's absolutely no reason to believe that this still will not keep going as it goes to the east here. So it's still spinning. We're probably going to have to watch again areas of circulation that will come and go. On the other side of everything, by the way, there's a lot of rain that's coming in. You see all the rain that's extending all the way down towards Dibble. That's going to basically just kind of run right over the same area. So also a flood threat that we're going to watch as we go into this evening. Jonathan, let's go down into Pottawatomie County, southern Pottawatomie County, get an update, by the way, on this other tornado warning that we have. That's going to be down by Byers, making its way towards Asher. Just want to get an update. Very close to Winnett, by the way.
It's not as strong.
Yeah,
but it's still supercell.
Yeah, it's not as strong. So, by the way, we're currently working now two tornado warnings ongoing. So it looks like the one that was up in northeastern Cleveland County, north of Draper, that's been allowed to expire. Is Sky 5 coming up on is that just weather related?
Yeah, there was a semi
Okay.
At the Fort Smith Junction, I-40, I-35, and a semi was hanging over the flyover ramp. And so that's what he's looking at right now, and that's in the upper left-hand corner. So we could talk to him. He's back in the metro. He could tell you which is that eastbound or westbound. But yeah, and now his shot just went dead.
Okay. Well, we'll go back. Well, just making sure with all the tornadoes that we have had and all the warnings we have had coming up on some damage, we're going to probably find some of this here. So there you go. Okay. OKC, by the way, if you are checking in for Oklahoma City, things are much quieter now. We're still watching for the potential for more storms as we go into the overnight that would develop down by Wichita Falls and Lawton and stay south of I-44. So we may not be done with the storms just quite yet, but this is still definitely an inflow coming into this cell northeast of Noble. From a reflectivity standpoint, you can definitely see there's a ball in here, and definitely can see an inflow notch coming in just right over Highway 9. Don't like this one bit. Just south of State Highway 9, southeast of OU, but that's it right there. That's inflow coming into this right now, east of 77. East of 77. Feels like it's really slowed down. Let me go back out to Michael. Michael, still seeing a well-defined, at least inflow notch on this storm that you're on. Michael, what do you see?
Well, check that out. I mean, you can see in my night vision, I mean, it almost makes it look like daytime. That's the wall cloud, Damon. And I don't see a tornado right now, but there are a lot of lowered areas, and there's a cone kind of hanging a little bit right down in the middle of it. I'm going to zoom in right there. So this is the wall cloud right now with that circulation that produced the tornado in Noble. Sorry. And as of right now, well, I mean, it's starting to look like a funnel there a little bit right there in the shot. It's still spinning, but I'll tell you on radar, it doesn't look as impressive, but what we've seen is these circulations will kind of spin up and then they'll go away, and then they'll spin up again and then they'll go away, and they just kind of bounce along like that.
Yeah, it definitely feels like just with all the tornadoes that we have seen, that I feel like we've seen a good half a dozen at least. They don't last very long. They come down, then they go back up. So a bit of a different type of tornadic environment that we have in here this evening where nothing seems to, at least as of right now, since we've been doing this coverage now for about 3 hours, has stayed on the ground for that long. However, still got to watch it. Still got to watch it closely with this cell moving up to the northeast. So again, this picture coming in from Michael using night vision, able to see these lowerings real well with this moving up to the northeast. So again, we have Michael, we have Nick, Sky 5, and by the way, is up in Oklahoma City. Flood threat continues to also be a threat too that we're watching, but there's definitely some strong winds that are surging out with this, and so gonna have to watch for these strong winds. Right now, this warning is set to go at 9:30. We'll go out to who has Mark? Okay, we'll go out to Mark in just a little bit. Let me know when he's available. He's available right now. Okay, let's go out to Mark Fricklin. Mark, you're in Noble. You say you have damage. What are you seeing?
This is like a side road in downtown Noble, but the power poles are leaning pretty far over the road, and I could see a lot of debris, like sheet metal, stuck in the lines that are kind of laying on the ground. But we've got law enforcement down there blocking the road. But this is just off of 77, off of the main road, about a quarter of a mile to the west.
Okay, so Mark, we're working on getting your shot up, and I believe we do have it. Do we have a shot? Remote 16. Mark will be on remote 16. Damage in Noble. Again, Mark Fricklin. There's his location right there. He's going to be in Noble right now. So, okay, let's go back out to Michael. Michael, looks like your storm is now starting to produce a tornado again. Another funnel. What do you see, Michael?
Well, it certainly looks like it. I mean, it is very, very low. Right in that same area I was telling you about just a second ago, and now it's starting to look and more like a funnel. And now, keep in mind, there are some trees right there, and they're pointed upward, so you can see that in the shot. But look how low that is, Damon. I mean, oh, man. I can't tell if that's going to be on the ground or not right now at this point, but it is getting really close. Also, I want to mention, I think a tornado is basically about to hit Winnett, potentially. That circulation really tightening up near Winnett, moving up toward Asher. So really two different areas I'm concerned about. One over here that's just northeast of Noble now, and the other one near Winnett, almost on top of Winnett.
Yeah, we're going to go down to Winnett, and this is what we're watching right here. We are watching two areas of circulation, two tornado warnings right now, the only two tornado warnings in the state. They're happening very close to one another. So, again, Winnett, you're still in your shelter right now with that cell that's headed up to the northeast. So, once again, Winnett in your tornado shelter right now with this storm, and then once again also watching this cell that's northeast of Noble. Keeping a close eye on that one as well. So, with these two warnings right now. Looking at the radar standpoint, we're going to watch this out by Dibble, too, by the way. Derek is out there. It's not, oh, man, down by Cole again. It's not tornado warned, but looking at how it looks from this radar standpoint, you can see a kind of inflow coming into this right here. So we'll watch that. Cole, we hope not again, but this feels like it's going back over the same area that the previous tornado warning that we had. This one right here was about an hour ago. Out by Cole, out towards Goldsby. Still watching this. There's Nick. There's Chris on the east side of Thunderbird. The storm is still showing rotating. It's still spinning. Tornado warning absolutely still needs to be ongoing. Now this is set to expire, by the way, in 5 minutes. We'll see the new warning, see how that one looks. But current track to the northeast. Community of Denver at 9:43. Lake Thunderbird 9:44. We go in the Little Axe at 9:56. Pink 10:17. Okay, so new tornado warning coming for Dibble. Coming in for Dibble. So here we go once again. So Noble, we may not be done yet. We'll watch this new tornado warning that's being typed up as we speak. We have Derek Klein right into it as well. Real quick, we have Mark back up. We have his picture up. Can we get an update from Mark again on the damage that he's seeing in front of him? I see his stream coming in right now. Let's check in with Mark Fricklin. Mark, how's the damage? What's the damage situation right now in Noble? Okay, well,
sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, go.
Yeah, so we're seeing some houses over here. There looks like they're searching to see if anybody's hurt. But if you see my camera shot, I'm not sure you got it or not. But law enforcement's around, and there's the power's out, kind of on the north side of town. So there's police directing traffic through there, and this is the extent of what it seems. We haven't done a whole lot of moving around yet. Just this is the first place we found that's been damaged, but there may be more.
Okay, well, Mark, we'll check in. Mark, we'll check back in with you in just a second. Winnett, you need to be back in your tornado shelter, by the way. Winnett, with this storm, it's coming right on top. So this is Winnett at 9:26, Asher 9:47, Avoca at 9:48 with that cell right there. Okay, here's a brand new tornado warning that we now have. This is going to be for Dibble, east of Dibble, a bit here, but coming up close to Cole. Here's Washington. Here's your inflow into this. So I'm going to watch this one real closely, but you can definitely see the inflow coming into this. Derek Klein's coming up on the back side of this, coming into Dibble. This new warning is just moments ago. This warning goes now until 10:15. So Washington at 9:41 and heads up Noble. We're probably not in the clear yet. With this storm, with another storm coming in. So we're really watching it. I would like it if these storms would just kind of basically fizzle out, but Mother Nature's given us all sorts of things tonight here. So right now, from Dibble to Cole, here's your area of rotation. Not very tight on radar, but it is rotating. And knowing what all these other storms have been doing tonight, where you get these tornadoes that they produce, and then these storms that produce tornadoes, then they let up for a bit, and they come back down, and then they come back up. So we're probably going to watch this next tornado kind of skip along the countryside here. And current track will stay in between Cole, Washington, Goldsby. It very well will probably go right in between, back over I-35, but looks like it's coming back up towards Noble. So Noble, we're not done yet. We are not done yet with the storms here. Hopefully it's the last one. Let's check is Derek Klein available. We'll get Derek on the phone here in just a second because he's going to be inside this tornado warning coming up on this. But okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, out the Derek we go right now. So Derek, another storm. You've been on these storms since they've developed, but Derek, we get these tornadoes that they produce, then they kind of let up, they produce, they kind of let up. What do you see right now from your vantage point, Derek?
Yeah, we're definitely noticing that this storm is intensified. You can definitely see it on radar, and that kind of has been the trend. They form down by Rush Springs, they get a little bit intense, and they kind of weaken until they get close to I-35, and then they take back off again. So, and this has been probably, the fifth or sixth one that's done this. So we're right here in position just to the south of the rotation. So we're just to the east of Dibble right now. And so we're going to get around the hook so that way we can see up into where the storm core would be to see if there is any tornado or anything right now. But as of right now, we don't see any power flashes, just heavy rain right now. But we'll get ourselves in position to where we can see what's going on. Back to you.
Okay, so here we are right now. So let's go back over to the radar. So we're working a couple of new tornado warnings. We have a new tornado warning that goes up towards the Grand Casino, Pottawatomie County. Then another new tornado warning that goes up towards Seminole as well. These are new tornado warnings just issued that will take us past the 10 o'clock hour here. So here we go, basically 2 areas of circulation with this one. The Noble, we're calling it the Noble cell, and then out by Dibble, and then another new area of circulation, or the same area of circulation for Winnett, but this warning has now been extended going up to the town of Seminole. You can definitely see inflow with this cell moving up to northeast. So we're still working 3 storms, I should be saying 3 storms. So this one, that one, and then down to southeast. This one's still going, and so if you're in Pottawatomie County, the most important storm for you, if you're in from Pink up towards McLeod, Dale, Shawnee, it's this one right now. This is going to be the next one to make its way in. We're hoping this one can fizzle out. Let's check in with Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Michael, brand new tornado warning has just been issued that takes it back up into Pottawatomie County. What do you see, Michael?
Yeah, I think we had a new mesocyclone that's formed and a new wall cloud, and that's the one I was showing you just a minute ago. And so right now we're at the intersection of Highway 9 and we are at 84th Avenue Southeast. So we're right here just on the southwest side of Lake Thunderbird, Damon. And that's a really pronounced lowering in my shot right now. We're right ahead of it. There may be even a funnel under there, Damon. I mean, it looks like it, but I've got a tree in the way right now. Kyle, can you inch forward about 50 yards? Well, I'm going to see if this is hanging down low enough. There's just too many trees right in there. Okay, that's good. Hang on right there. Hang on right there.
Yeah, and when you get to this side of the state, chasing takes on a little bit of a different perspective here with all these trees. So you got to wait for the lightning to kind of light up the sky here. But you are watching right now KOCO 5 News at 10 o'clock. The main story continues to be these ongoing tornado warnings that we have for south of Oklahoma City. But this one we're still watching. It's very close to Michael, by the way. Here's State Highway 9 as it bends back up around Lake Thunderbird. So here's Alameda. Here's going to be State Highway 9. Area circulation, inflow, current track. It's gonna go up on the south side of Lake Thunderbird, make its way around the dam here. Here's Nick Smith. Okay? So we have Nick. We have Storm Command watching this right now, and eventually at this current track, it's going to run very close to Little Axe, Pink, and then coming up into western Pottawatomie County. You hate to say it, areas that were impacted by our last tornadoes that we had that impacted Cole up to Shawnee are in line once again, or very close. Shawnee, watching this warning closely for you, coming into Shawnee. But right now, here we are coming up on the south side of Thunderbird, and this warning goes until 10:15. It's another 45 minutes with this cell right here. Extended storm track, Denver to Pink, 9:43 to 10:13. Bethel Acres, 10:34. Dale, 10:42. Shawnee, right around 11 o'clock. Jonathan, we're watching all these lots of areas on the radar that are we're still watching, but you hate it when you have to list out these towns and these communities that were impacted just a couple weeks ago by tornadoes, Jonathan.
I'm a little bit concerned about number one, and Michael's right there, Nick's right with him. That has a pretty strong hook on it. On the velocity couplet, Michael's right there. A little bit concerned that as it starts to cycle, I mean, there's a couple different ways that I look at a storm. I do a lot of things on the side that we don't show on air, but that looks like a big hook. So again, here's the hook. There's like a ball. Here's all the warm, drier air that's rain-free pulling in, and it's rotating. That's what makes the hook echo. Then the moisture wraps back around, and right in the middle, right where Michael's at, and the ball of the hook, that's where the circulation is. And that is one of the strongest hooks I think we've seen yet tonight. Now, does that mean that there's going to be a big tornado in there? Not necessarily, just says the circulation looks really strong. So I'm watching that area. Also a little bit concerned about the storm that is east of Dibble. Circulation Michael has power flashes. So Derek is there.
Yeah.
Circulation maybe not as strong, but Derek, expert chaser right there. If he sees anything, we're going to know. But going back again to the Noble storm, really worried about this, Damon.
Yeah, and so, and by the way, Noble, 30 minutes is when the next circulation comes. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, you're live on air, Michael. What do you see?
96th Avenue Southeast and Highway 9, confirmed tornado. Power flashes, huge lowering right now here with this, Damon. So I would just go ahead and, plan on a tornado just on the, right on Highway 9, just south of Lake Thunderbird. And again, another situation where there's a bunch of homes out here. A bunch of people live in here in Cleveland County along Highway 9 out around Lake Thunderbird. Very dangerous situation here at night. Huge lowering.
Yeah, and Michael, what we see with our velocity right now, we're pairing it right up. I see you, I see Nick, I see Chris Lee, and I see this area, this circulation couplet, and so this is going to be on the south side, just south of Thunderbird, as you make your way around the bend. And so, but we're watching it real close. We'll keep Michael's shot up on the left-hand side. Let's put the radar back over here. I can show exactly where it is. So this is Highway 9. This is Thunderbird. Here's a bend around the dam. But there's Storm Command, and there's Nick. And so we're watching this again. Michael's reporting power flashes, confirmed tornado with this storm moving to the east. So once again, if you're on the south side of Thunderbird, south side of Thunderbird, you need to be in your tornado shelter. We're still waiting for the update. Debris, see, we're picking it up. A lot of trees out here. So we're hoping that the only damage we get out here are trees, but as Jonathan was just mentioning, this is a well-defined hook. I mean, this is a well-defined hook echo that you see right here. Inflow rushing over Thunderbird, moving up to northeast. Look, if you're living in Pottawatomie County, if you're living in Pink, Bethel Acres, Shawnee, this is the storm that we're watching real closely for you. Again, watching it real closely because this is going to be the one that's going to impact you next. We're hoping that this will fizzle out, but we know what it's doing right now. It's on the ground, and it's at least hitting power lines, as Michael's been telling us with power flashes. By the way, let's zoom on out. Got a couple storms we got to work. And by the way, attention for those of you in Noble, as ongoing rescue efforts and surveying damage is ongoing right now. There's another tornado warning storm that's going to be just west of you. So you have about 30 minutes before you got to wrap it up. Maybe even faster than that. I'd say 20 minutes. Watching this area, by the way, this tornado warned cell northeast of Winnet. That's moving up towards Romulus, Maud, Seminole. This warning comes right up to you at this current track. May stay just south of Seminole, but come towards Maud and Bowlegs. So we'll watch this one right now. Avoca at 9:47, Maud at 10:20, Wolf at 10:32 with that cell moving up to northeast. Jonathan, let's go out to Dibble. Let's check in on the Dibble storm, by the way. Here it is right here. How's rotation tracker look on this one, by the way? It's rotating. It's not very tight, but it's basically rolling over the same areas that were impacted by tornado warning cells earlier. So knowing this is coming right back into Noble. Here's Noble right here. So again, Noble, have about 20 minutes, Noble. Let's go out to Derek Klein. Derek Klein, these tornado warning cells are basically kind of training right over themselves, going over the same areas, it feels like. What do you see, Derek?
Yeah, Damon. So right now, the lightning is really intense on this storm. We've gotten out in front of it here. We're going to try to work ourselves across Purcell so we can get across the river here and stay out in front of this storm. But definitely, it looks like it might have two areas of rotation of us here, just to the west of Purcell and then one to the north of us. So we're kind of watching to see if those will organize into one, and then I think that's when the storm would have a chance to produce tornadoes again. So we're going to continue to watch it. A little bit unorganized right now, but we're going to continue to watch it and let you know if it intensifies. Back to you.
And for all the KOCO 5 crews that are right now down in Noble, so Mark especially, I want our crews to know that this storm is coming back in. So you have about 20 minutes for this coming into Noble, but I am concerned. So I see Mark as he's moving back north. And so, again, our crews, they'll come back in to Noble and give you all the information once the tornado threat's over. But again, I always want to emphasize safety is number one for everyone that is working here at KOCO. So once again, Nick Smith, Storm Command, Chris Lee, watching this storm. So we're right on the south side of Lake Thunderbird, moving right along the highway, and almost as it makes it a bend up to the north. It's crossing over the highway, but It's coming very close. As a matter of fact, let me go out to Nick Smith. I want to go out to Nick because Nick and Michael both watching this. Nick, for what feels like I don't even know how many times you've been right in front of a tornado. It feels like today, but here you are once again, Nick. What are you seeing?
Right now, Damon, our view is a little obstructed. We're right here by one of the Thunderbird Marina. If you know where, where Clear Bay is, and in the North Dam area, we're over in that area right now, and we're trying to get on the other side of these trees so that we can see. It's really hard out here, but there's a couple spots out here that you can see a little bit. So we're going to try to get a little bit further to the east and up to the north a little bit to look back at the storm. We did get to see a little bit of it. We saw some of those power flashes that Michael was talking about. And Damon, there's just a lot of people out on the roads, and there's people that are driving into it. It's really scary for some of the stuff that's going on out here right now. Back to you.
Okay, so we'll be keeping in close contact with you. So tornado warning continues. Cleveland, Oklahoma, Pottawatomie County. This is the same tornado warning that Nick has been reporting on, that Michael's reporting on. Confirmed tornado, not moving very quickly, moving about 15 miles per hour, making its way up towards Little Axe. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, give us an update. What do you see?
Yeah, okay, Damon. I know Nick was trying to reposition. We have a really good view right now of the storm, a huge lowering right now with this storm. Now, what I can't see a tornado, but what I'm just trying to tell you is sometimes even just settling for a view of the wall cloud is about the best we can do over here. Once you get over by Lake Thunderbird, you have all the trees, you have all the hills. Very, very difficult spotting at night, but what I can confirm is there's still a huge wall cloud with this storm, and there's the rotation's not real tight with it, but at this point you just have to plan that there's a tornado coming to you up toward Pink right now, okay? That's the direction of the motion of this storm. It's going to skirt along the south side of Lake Thunderbird, very close to Highway 9. If not on Highway 9, it's going to be just a little bit north of it, right on the southeast side of Lake Thunderbird, and it's going to move right up toward Pink.
Yeah, and so watching this again, if you're eastern Cleveland County going into western Pottawatomie County, watching this. Now, technically, this warning does include extreme southeastern Oklahoma County. It's current track. This is going to stay south of that. By the way, let's go down to Pottawatomie and Seminole, get an update on what we have as our Winnett storm. So getting circulation with this between Winnett and Avoca, Asher, right there, moving up to the northeast. This one is going to come pretty close to Seminole. But this storm, this is definitely concerning as well. This tornado warning goes until 10:15, about another 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So this one still continues for a while. So Seminole, if there's any storm that you need to be at least watching closely, what we're watching right now, we're keeping a close eye on this for you, Seminole. Right now, this is still northeast of Winnett. Still definitely has a well-pronounced inflow into. Jonathan, how's debris tracker look with this? A lot of trees, so that's a little messy. Doesn't really, I need to see right there, got my finger on it. Let's see if we got any debris.
No, I don't think they correspond to each other. I don't think they overlay.
Yeah, it takes some analyzing live on air to see exactly what we have.
Signature.
Yeah, low confidence tornado debris signature. Yeah, so okay, we'll watch this one right now. But again, for Romulus to St. Louis, Asher up towards Avoca. Again, tornado shelter, innermost room of your house. Maud, same thing for you. Here we are now. Here's Lake Thunderbird around the bend by the dam. Here's Little Axe. So there's Nick, there's Storm Command. There's Chris Lee down there. Michael, this tornado warning, this area circulation is still going to be just down to your southwest. Michael, any more power flashes? Have you seen anything in the last couple minutes since we last spoke?
No, I haven't. What I've seen, I have huge lowering right now. This is actually north of Highway 9, but I do see what you're talking about in that there's another area back to our left. So I'm going to come back and look to my southwest. I haven't seen any type of flashes or anything like that. Oh, man, there is definitely a lowered area in there. Yeah. So kind of two different wall clouds with this storm right now. And that's one of the things we've also seen with this today, Damon, is you just got lowerings kind of that just form all over the place around these storms. It's pretty crazy.
And it has really been one of those days, a lot of storms. And as we mentioned before, this was going to be a day where as we went deeper into the night, ingredients were going to pick up a bit. And so we're definitely seeing everything that we forecasted for the last couple of days. It's coming together. Here it is right now. Tornado warning continues. Still watching this south of Lake Thunderbird, moving up towards Pink, Little Axe, and eventually headed up towards Bethel Acres, Bethel High School, and eventually up towards Shawnee. I understand, Shawnee. Look, we don't want to do this again. I'm right there with you. So we're gonna do this scan by scan, and we'll watch it. Let's go down, check on. We'll check in with Nick. Okay, we'll go to Nick, and then we'll check back in down by West of Noble. Nick, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon, I just got into Pink right now, and I'm looking back off to the just to my due west right now, and I can see probably the thing that Michael's talking about. But man, it's got a lot. It looks like it has a lot of rain around the bottom, like rain curtains wrapping around it. But I cannot tell if it's on the ground. But I mean, it is hanging real low, like what he was just talking about.
We can definitely see that, and of course, this time of the evening, there, Nick, as the sun is down, the lightning. You need lightning to be able to get better visuals, and a lot of trees out here as well. So we'll continue to watch it. By the way, for those in Noble, here we are right now. So tornado warning still remains. Still finding circulation very close to Washington. South of Goldsby, there's Noble right here. Not a very tight circulation, but it's still there. And so very close to Washington. So at this current track, right now moving at about 20 miles per hour. We still have about, I'd say about another 20 minutes or so to go with this one. Here we are. So Washington, 9:52 is about 8 minutes from now. Slaughterville, 10:18. Lake Thunderbird, again, 10:41. We'll watch this one again for Thunderbird, but still continues. By the way, all these blue lines that you see, those are flood advisories. A lot of heavy rain out of these. Flooding threat continues. There's your area circulation on the west side of Thunderbird. South side of Norman, ton of rain coming down right now. That continues. As a matter of fact, look at these storm totals that we have seen here. Rain totals that we're picking up here. You can definitely see the tracks that these have been taken. 2 inches plus from Cole to Goldsby, up towards Riverwind Casino, over an inch as you go out towards Thunderbird. Definitely a lot of rain out there. So these flood advisories continue. But by the time you go to work tomorrow, go to school, any high water out there should be coming down. Definitely a narrow path. Some of the heavier rain, even you see up towards around more as well. So definitely quite the heavy rain. Always nice to see out here, but sometimes you can get too much of a good thing out here. So in the meantime, still watching these storms as they're lifting up to the northeast. So 2 tornado warnings here, plus this one down by Winnett, headed up towards Seminole. So those are your 3 tornado warning storms that we have ongoing right now from McLean County, Cleveland, Pottawatomie, and Seminole County right now. These are all set to go until 10:15. May go a little bit later than that. We'll let you know. Right now, here's your area circulation that we see south of Romulus, just on the northwest side of Asher, moving up to the northeast, headed towards the community there of St. Louis, and then Maud. So Maud, that's 10:25. Wolf at 10:40. Bowlegs at 10:42. Right now, again, tornado warning for Pottawatomie County until 10:15 as this moves up to northeast. These are not storms that are moving at blazing speeds here. We're going about 15 to 25 miles per hour with this. We're still looking for debris. Right now, nothing that would say there's indeed debris inside this tornado, but we'll watch that one. Let's get an update. Let's go back out to Storm Command, making his way around the southeastern side of Lake Thunderbird. Michael, this tornado warning continues. Michael, what do you see?
Well, and I would say that, okay, just, Damon, if you look at it, basically, south of Twin Lakes radar site, there's some new velocity picking up there. I think we're starting to get a little bit more of an enhancement in the velocities. This may try to spin up again, but this time further north from Highway 9. You can kind of see how it wraps all the way around into it. That's where I have my camera pointed. I know you're not getting a whole lot of lightning or light in the view because of the trees out here, but this is what we can do in Storm Command. We can track it on radar just like you guys can in the studio as well. And I have that training as well. So that's 3 of us. And, and all of our meteorologists are doing this as well. So, we've got eyes on it. And what I would say is we need to monitor this area that's on the north side of the tornado warning box right now, because it seems like this storm is kind of surging a little bit more up to the north or to the northeast, rather than kind of moving to the east-northeast like it did when it came out of Noble toward Highway 9. Does that make sense?
Of course. Of course it does. Yeah, so we're just watching as these winds surge out, some other areas of circulation that try to spin up. And again, we're looking on the north side of this polygon right here. So once again, excuse me, here we are right now, Thunderbird. Now, Thunderbird kind of takes this this bend, this elbow right here, but here we are watching this area. That's going to be on the north side. And so that's going to head up towards Stella at 10:09, Bethel Acres, 10:43, and then Bethel High School there at 10:46. Grand Casino up towards McLeod and Dale right around 10:45. That's still about another hour from now. Talk about some slow-moving storms. Not moving very quickly, but we are watching these as they move up to the northeast here. So these tornado warnings remain. Now, these tornado warnings go until 10:15. We'll see if they get reissued. But at this point, at this current track right now, I mean, these tornado warnings they're still serious, and especially with the sun set, dark outside, it takes a lot of trends that we got to watch before we can drop these for good. And so these tornado warnings remain. Now, if you are watching in Oklahoma County, if you're watching in Edmond, if you're west of I-35, you're doing much better now. So if you're wondering, hey, look, can I go to bed or can I not? Oklahoma City out to the west, you're doing okay. So watching this storm, though, this will be crossing over I-35 soon. Still getting an inflow into this, still some rotation. Let's check in with Derek Klein right now. Derek, still watching this tornado warning continue. What do you see?
Yeah, Damon. So we're here now. We're well out in front of it. In my stream here, you can see the lightning. You can see the rain-free base there. I don't see anything that looks like a tornado right now. Although the radar picture of the storm is looking a little bit better as it comes up on I-35. So we're definitely going to be curious here. So we're going to head up just to the north side of Slaughterville, somewhere between Slaughterville and Noble. And we'll be able to watch this thing as it comes up across I-35. And we're in really, really good position right now. So if this storm does produce a tornado, we will be able to see it with all the lightning that's behind it. So we're in good position to cover it. We'll let you know what we see. Back to you.
Okay, we know you will there, Derek. Again, watching this cell real closely. Let's hope this is the last storm that we have to deal with tonight. Now, there's some high-resolution data coming in right now that does show at least the potential for a flare-up of storms down by Wichita Falls and Lawton. That may impact us well after midnight tonight. We'll continue to watch it. Low chance for that, but we'll continue to watch it. In the meantime, though, here's your inflow again with this cell, Washington to Goldsby, moving up to the northeast. Let's go down towards Winnett and Asher, get an update on this storm that would impact those of us in towards around the Seminole area. And so Asher, you're okay now. Avoca, you're okay as well. Winnett, you're okay. This storm's now northeast of you. Still watching this as it continues to move up to northeast. Some spin with this cell down by Avoca, west of Sacred Heart. That's going to be northwest of Kanawha. Rotation tracker is not very strong with this. Some hail. By the way, we've really been quite fortunate from a hail perspective today. The hail has not been very large. A lot of the data that we had earlier was showing us tennis ball size hail. Haven't seen any of that. So hail sizes have been fairly low, quarters and half dollars max. This storm doesn't have much hail with it either, at least not very large hail. It has some hail, but not a lot of large hail. But Maud, it is headed up in your direction. So there is going to be Buck. He's out by Earlsboro. This headed up towards Seminole. Seminole, you're not technically in the tornado warning yet, but be prepared for extension of this should this continue to strengthen as it goes to the east. We'll watch it. Seminole, technically, you're not in tornado warning yet, but we'll see how this all kind of goes as it moves up to the northeast. Again, Maud, watching it for you. Here's Buck, Earlsboro, and that tornado warning continues. Let's go out to, there's Chris, there's Derek, we have Nick, we have Storm Command up to the north. This cell showing some rotation, not very strong rotation at all from Goldsby down to Washington, but it's still there. Got to respect the tornado warning polygon here for sure. Slaughterville, 1019 Denver, 1046 Lake Thunderbird, again, at about 1047. Let's hope that this will weaken as it continues to make its way through town here. And hopefully, again, Noble, I know there's some damage. Our crews are down there. They went back up until the storm is out of here, but we'll watch it. Still finding an area of rotation right here out by Little Axe. Again, out by Little Axe. So there's Nick, there's Storm Command. Still finding some areas of rotation, especially there on the north side of Lake Thunderbird. out by Thunderbird. As a matter of fact, putting a track on the northern extent of this, moving up to the northeast, it's going to come close to Stella, Bethel Acres at 1041, Bethel High School, 1044 Dale, 1048 Grand Casino, right around 1045 with that storm moving up northeast. So check back in with Michael. Michael, give us an update. I know a bit of a different chasing situation here as the sun is now set, but Michael, what do you see? Okay, we'll get Michael back on here in just a bit here. Again, Michael, our crews are all, you can see all their locations. There's Nick, there's Storm Command, there's Chris, there's Derek. Okay, we'll go back out to Michael. Michael, now you're live on air. Michael, what do you see?
Yeah, sorry, cell coverage gets a little spotty. And I don't know how many storm chasers are still trying to chase this at night. It's crazy how many people are out here on the roads, Damon. I know Nick talked about that earlier, but it really is, it's just, wow. I mean, so we're looking at it right now. We see a big, like a broad lowering, like with a big bell shape to it that extends well north of Highway 9 up to the north and east of Lake Thunderbird and all the way back to the south, right along this edge. And we'll see if it starts to tighten up again. The low-level shed has started to kick in, so the winds up above the ground are stronger. Sometimes at night, as long as if it's still unstable, actually the tornado threat can even go up at night in that situation, which I know that's not what anybody wants to hear because nobody wants to have a nighttime tornado. But this storm continues to be very intense right now as it's moving here from Cleveland County, getting ready to go into Pottawatomie County.
It certainly is. And looking at some of the high-resolution data there, Michael, it still appears that at least the threat's going to continue for at least the next 45 minutes. We have this brand new data that is really helping us not only look at what the environment is right now with the storms, what it's going to look like 10 minutes from now, 15 minutes from now, and it updates every 15 minutes. And so looking at this high-resolution data still tells us that the storms are still going to be tornado warned even at 10:15 as they move to the east here. So there should be a downward trend as we go right around, say, about 10:30 to 11 o'clock in that window. But at least we know for the short term, these tornado warnings are still going to be flashing on your screen, both here and down here as well, down by Romulus. It's still rotating very close to the community of St. Louis, southeast of Romulus. That's northeast of Avoca. These are not very fast-moving storms, but Maud, tell you what, watching this cell, and I know, Maud, it feels like it's taking a while for this storm to come in. These are not very fast-moving storms, but of a different situation from what we've had before. With some of these storms, I feel like they come in here incredibly fast. These are moving much slower. But Maud, 10:25. So right now it's 9:55. So we're still looking, 20, 30 minutes from now, kind of in that ballpark with this storm moving up to the northeast. So heavy rain coming up towards Seminole. This cell still continues. Little Axe, Stella, inflow into this cell. By the way, a narrow band of heavy rain, so just be prepared for that coming in with this line of storms. We've had a lot of radar estimates of 1 to 2 inches of rain. The rotation is still there. Not very strong, but it's still there, especially on the north side of Thunderbird. Tracking this one out. This one's going to spread up towards Bethel Acres, 1039. Bethel High School, 1041. Grand Casino, 1042. Dale Gaddy, 1045 with that cell moving up northeast. Jonathan, what are you seeing?
Well, I feel this storm that Michael's on, and I know he had said, hey, he had a lowering and the velocities looked impressive to the north. Look how the radar beam just came by, and what I'm looking at it looks a lot weaker.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that remember the big ball that we had with it? That was way back, way back here. Yeah, there you go. That's a very significant supercell. Big old hook. Maybe it's going to cycle again. Michael's right there. Maybe, new mesoforms, but it looks a little detached. Now, the storm that Derek's on, I think, is looking a little bit more robust. The velocity may not be as strong, but again, of the three storms, the Noble storm may be the strongest right now.
I see that as well. And just looking at some of this high-resolution data coming in, this Noble cell that we have, there's still a chance that it might, for 2 or 3 minutes, pick up in intensity before it comes back down. As we've been watching all throughout the evening with these storms where they kind of ride this wave where it feels like they peak in their intensity and then it comes back down, this storm may have one more kind of rise, one more kind of increase before it comes back down. So we'll watch it right now coming back into Noble. I know there's still a lot of search, definitely a lot of search and rescue going on right now. A lot of debris spread across the roads from the tornado warning earlier, but we're still watching the storm come in. So it's still a serious storm. So we're gonna watch it as it's moving through here. After this one moves out of here, hopefully things are gonna be improving much more as we go out towards Seminole. Oh, I'm sorry, not Seminole, into Noble. So here you go. Cancel the tornado warning for Cleveland, Oklahoma, and Pottawatomie County. That's this one right here. So this big warning, Shawnee, that warning, saw it live on air. It just fizzled. Okay, so now we're working 2 tornado warning storms. I like the direction we're going here, where we're finally, I feel like 2 tornado warnings may be the fewest number of tornado warnings we've had since about 7 o'clock. We've been working a handful of them, it feels like, throughout the evening. So now that's 2 tornado warnings. But they're still there. They go until 10:15. Here's one that we see right now. So there's the town of Avoca. We're going to be over some rural land, but this land belongs to someone. So near the community of St. Louis, headed up towards Maud. So there you go right there. Putting a track on that one up to the northeast. That's Maud at 10:23. Seminole at 10:54. We'll see if that one continues. But I like the trend that we've gone. Again, now we have 2 tornado warning storms. So that's an update to pass along. Again, now we're working 2 tornado warning storms. And those 2 tornado warning storms are still going to be for McLean and Cleveland County, and then Seminole County and Pottawatomie County. So we're still working the same counties. We're just kind of trimming away some of these tornado warnings that we have right now. So once again, here we are near the community of St. Louis, headed up towards Maud, and eventually towards Seminole and Bow Lakes. This goes until 10:15, another 15 minutes. Once again, you're watching KOCO 5 News at 10 o'clock. We've been in nonstop severe weather coverage, tornado coverage since these storms have been developing during the 6 o'clock hour here, but Maud at 10:23, Bow Lakes at 10:43, Seminole 10:54 with this cell right here moving up to northeast. Inflow into it doesn't look that exceptional. Hopefully these storms that we see down into Pottawatomie County are kind of messing up the inflow with this, but at least from a hook echo standpoint, this doesn't look like it's as nearly as intense. Now this one still has legs to it. This one's still going from Noble. As a matter of fact, there's Derek Klein. If we can talk to Derek Klein. Derek, still watching your storm. And by the way, Derek, with some of the high resolution data we have coming in right now, still shows that this storm that you're on, this tornado warning, may have one more increase in velocity before it comes back down. So Derek, give us an update on what you're seeing right now with this cell.
Crazy with the lowering, but the hail size has actually jumped up, which could be an indication that the storm is trying to intensify. We're actually getting isolated quarter-size hail, which is some of the biggest hail we've seen all day with these storms. So kind of interesting to see if that's going to correlate to an increase in the possible rotation. So we're going to continue to watch this here as it moves to the east, but now the rotation, again, coming up on Slaughterville. It'll either go right over Slaughterville or about a half mile north of Slaughterville. So we're going to continue to watch it as it moves off to the east-northeast. Back to you.
Okay, we know you will. We see Derek, we see you, we see Chris Lee still watching this right here. And here's the circulation that we have. Again, very close to Noble and Slaughterville, moving up to the northeast. And so we're going to continue to watch it. Again, this tornado warning for this part of Cleveland County goes until 10:15, another 14 minutes from now. But tracking it to the east, Needmore, 10:41, Etowah at 10:50, Little Axe, 10:54. I know there's some power outage situations going on here, and so this storm is going to delay some of the search and rescue, but it won't be over Noble for that much longer as it's moving up to the northeast here. So there's Chris, by the way. I haven't talked to Chris Lee in a little while. We'll get an update from him because he is going to be coming up on this storm as well. And so north of Slaughterville, you're in your tornado shelter right now, Noble, Slaughterville, moving up to the northeast here with this tornado warning. The one that we had up towards Thunderbird, we're doing better now. That's no longer in effect. Okay, let's check in with Chris Lee. Chris, another tornado warning that you're tracking. What do you see, Chris?
Yeah, right. This is really difficult in among the trees in the dark and everything. I'm really not. Just getting on this storm here that's coming over Slaughterville just right about now. So we're downstream from a little ways. We're a couple miles north of Slaughterville right now. So we're looking, hearing some. Is that hail? I think we're getting some very small hail. Maybe some of Derek's hail he was talking about because we have precipitation just started here. We just heard a couple of things bounce off the truck, but not seeing anything. Yeah. Definitely hail, probably dime size or so, just from the sound of it. Just falling here. We are. Let me get our location here. Just exactly where we're at. Cemetery Road and 72nd Street.
Yeah, we can definitely.
Quarter-size hail now.
We got quarter-size hail. Okay, and Chris, we have you plotted up with our GPS too, by the way, so we can see exactly your location. Here's a hail core that's coming. It's over Noble, and so Noble. This should be out of here in the next 15 minutes. Should just be east of you, so we'll get some. I know that there's been some damage in Noble. They had to put it on pause for just a little bit there as this tornado warning cell is now going through. Although this one looks like it's on the southeast side of Noble, moving up to the northeast. Now, this warning does not include Little Axe or Etowah. It is set to expire at 10:15. We'll see if it's going to be extended or not. Right now, again, it's 10:03, 10:04 to be exact. So we'll continue to watch this one moving up to the northeast. So tornado warning continues for Cleveland and McLean County, picking up a little bit of speed, about 25 miles per hour. Definitely getting a little bit larger hailstones out of this compared to what we have seen, although it's not very large. You can see right here, about 1 inch, quarter-size hail. Given what the atmosphere was capable of dropping on us earlier today, a lot of the soundings that we saw were showing tennis ball size hail, big hail. So all of our hail has been staying in the coin size variety, not sporting ball variety. So that's at least kind of a step in the right direction as well. So quarter size hail right over Noble, moving over, as you heard Derek mention, is getting some hail. Chris Lee mentioned getting some hail as well, moving up to the northeast here with this cell once again. So we'll watch this one. We've really trimmed this this tornado warning down by quite a bit, not very large. Let's check in with Michael. We see him on the top of the television screen here, up in pink. Michael, what do you see?
Yeah, Damon. As of right now, I mean the lightning out ahead of us. We've got to get over here to this other storm that's further to the east. We need to get over here to cover kind of Seminole in that area, especially that storm that was near Thunderbird has weakened some, and so we're on our way over to that direction. And I will just tell you from a storm chasing standpoint, when I see a storm produce as much lightning as that one is, it always gives me some degree of concern. And I know those storms have been spinning there around St. Louis, Maud, and over towards. We're making our way in from west of Tecumseh, east on Highway 9 over that direction. We'll continue to bring you, reports, and I'll give you an idea of just kind of how much lightning we're seeing with it. But it'll be a little bit before we can kind of see any more bases. But it's just really important for people over there to be able to get warning as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have Shane and we have Buck out on this storm as well right now that Michael's referring to. And so there's Buck right here out by Maud. So he's looking right into this. Now, again, it is dark, but Buck is watching the storm closely for you. Shane's going to be up here and eventually looking outside of this, headed towards Seminole. Now, you heard Michael mention the number of lightning strikes just in the last couple of minutes. We're looking at over 100 lightning strikes. That's a lot of lightning. It's going to light up the sky by quite a bit and be quite noisy. Okay, let's go at the Buck. So, Buck, you're in this tornado warning right now that's coming up towards Maud. Buck, how are things right now in the town of Maud?
Damon, it's currently not raining, and honestly, it's dark, and out here there's so many trees along the highways, it's hard to get a good look at it, but I can confirm what Michael was saying about the lightning. When we were in the teeth of this storm, it was the most lightning that we had seen today. So the storm is pretty strong. We've just not been able to see any lowerings or any bases of the clouds. And what we can see is just a lot of lightning. And so we're trying to get outside of town of Maud here as we work our way towards Seminole and maybe find a high point where we can get a better view of what's above us. Back to you.
Okay, and so information to pass along. So the tornado warning for Noble is going to be allowed to expire. Now, that will be replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning with the threat for some big hail up to the size of $50. But now we're working with just one, one tornado warning now. So now it's going to be just one tornado warning, and this is going to be it. So this could be the lone tornado warning that we have. So for Maud, St. Louis, here we are now watching this closely for you. Seminole as well. The threat's not over. Now again, we are at least trending these tornado warnings down. So about 10 minutes ago we had 3. Then we had 2. Now we just have one one tornado warning, but this could be it. So definitely still seeing the inflow, and this storm is still going. It's still going. It's all out by itself. Has decent inflow, a lot of lightning. As a matter of fact, we've seen an increase in the lightning strikes there. You can see it going from 116 now up to 117. So when you see lightning increasing, that is a sign of a strengthening storm. So for Maud, watching this. Now we're at the 118. Yeah, it definitely feels like this is going up. So Buck is watching it for you in Maud. Shane up towards around Seminole. And we'll continue to watch this moving up to the northeast. It's set to expire in the next 5 minutes. Probably is going to be extended, I believe. We'll see. But we'll watch it as it continues to go up to the northeast. Not moving very quickly. So Maud right now, 1024 is when it's projected to move in. Bowlegs at 1046. Seminole, 1057. And then making its way up towards around Lima there at about 11 o'clock with this cell. Again, with this storm moving up to the northeast once again. So keeping a close eye on the circulation. Again, it's still sitting basically right over St. Louis, and that is an uptick. You don't like to see that at all, especially when you see that red and that green right here. That might be kind of displaced a little bit. We'll see, but it kind of correlates where we see the inflow coming into the cell right over the town of St. Louis. So again, tornado warning that we have out here by Noble, Cleveland County, that's going to drop. It will be replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning for hail, but otherwise tracking this cell as it's moving up towards Bowlegs and Seminole. Other storms that we have, by the way, down by Sasakwa, south of Holdenville, those are not severe. So again, there you go. One tornado warning cell now is what we're working with. Let me go back out to Michael if I can. Want to check in with Michael. So Michael, an update to pass along. So tornado warning has been allowed to expire for Noble, replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning headed your way for hail. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing from Storm Command.
Yeah, actually, we just got that warning, and the severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for this area. And, I'll tell you what, I know a lot of people out here would take quarter-size hail over a tornado warning any day, as many as we've had. I was kind of thinking about that, what you said earlier about, you felt like this is the first time we've been down to that few tornado warnings in a long time, and that is one thing that's a very good sign. The problem is we still have this rotation area that I don't know, Damon. I see it got kind of tight right there around St. Louis, headed up toward Maud, and that's going to be lifting towards Seminole. So we'll see. They haven't been long track, so for that circulation to maintain its intensity all the way to Seminole, I kind of doubt it. But at the same time, we're in this situation now. The low-level jet has increased, and you just until the storm is done, it's not done. So, and that means that we're not done.
No, you're right. We're gonna have to keep going on here with these storms here. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for this storm, and again, this one has some hail on it. So we'll check in with Derek in just a little bit. But this is warned for up to $50 size hail with this cell, and then this tornado warning that we have down here that's gonna be down by St. Louis. So let's see. We got a. Okay, so they've extended the tornado watch. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me pass this along. Tornado watch has now been extended until 2 a.m. for Carter, Cleveland, Garvin, Grady, Jefferson, Johnson, Lincoln, Love, Marshall, McLean, Murray, Oklahoma, Payne, Pontotoc, Pottawatomie, Seminole, and Stevens County. Tornado watch has been extended now until 2 a.m. That's another 4 hours from now. So basically, this watch right here will update the banner, but it now goes until 2 a.m. Let's check in with Derek Klein if we can. Derek, give us an update on what you're seeing, Derek.
Yeah, Damon. So we're kind of right out in front of the storm right now. We can see a rain-free base. There's maybe a little bit of a lowering, but it's not super low. I think we're probably about to get some more hail here. I'm not for sure. I'm in near Etowah, so cell phone coverage is definitely going downhill. So we'll be chasing this with our eyes and not with the radar going forward for the next little bit. But again, we did see some quarter-size hail just 2 miles south of Noble. So we can confirm that there was severe hail in this storm. There wasn't a whole lot of it, but it is a severe thunderstorm. It does have a rain-free base. It does have a lowering. Again, rotation looks weak. It's very difficult to see at night, but looks weak. But we'll continue to watch it because these storms have had a history of spinning up fairly quickly. So we'll be here, and if something happens, we'll be here covering it for you. Back to you.
We know that you will. So brand new tornado warning, by the way, has just been issued. So new tornado warning. This is going to include Seminole, as we expected that it would. So this Pottawatomie, Seminole County till 10:45. Not moving very quickly. Again, moving about 15 miles per hour. So we're only adding a little bit more. But yeah, there you go. Maud, you need to be, you have time, Maud, by the way. Moving about 15 miles per hour. But Maud, circulation's coming in right now. Definitely an increase in the velocity right there. So that storm, and then eventually after Maud, headed up towards Seminole. So Maud at 10:28, Bow Lakes 10:53, Seminole at 11:02 with that storm. Again, with that storm making its way from St. Louis, southwest of Maud, moving up to the northeast. Again, Seminole, Maud, Maud first, tornado shelter. Given the slow movement, Seminole, you have plenty of time. We'll let you know when it's time to go in there. If you were to go in right now, you'd probably be sitting in there for about an hour. But there's your circulation right now. Not very tight, but it's definitely there. It is definitely there on the west-southwest side of Maud, north of St. Louis, moving up to the northeast. Again, this new warning goes until 10:45, and it's going to be for this one that does include Seminole. Until, again, Seminole, you still have about 45 minutes, Seminole, before it's coming in, so you still have time. We'll continue to watch this one real closely. We have Buck, we have Shane, Storm Command, watching this one right now as well. Let's go out the Buck. So Buck, brand new tornado warning has just been issued. This does include Seminole. Buck, give us an update on what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, Damon, we're just seeing, a bunch of lightning right now, kind of some moderate rainfall, not much wind, but we are now looking back to the southwest to where this hook is on the radar, and we need some lightning strikes to really illuminate what we're looking at. But definitely on radar, there's something there, and it looks like it's really intensifying. Back to you.
But yeah, Buck, you're exactly right. There's something there, and it's definitely intensifying. We can definitely see that on the radar with the last scan that just came in just moments ago. That's it right there. So here's Maud, about 2 miles west of Maud. That's your area spin. We're east of Romulus, but really got to watch. That's the area that is of concern. It is picking up, by the way. Circulation, the couplet within that. So Maud, you need to be in your shelter. Again, it's not moving very quickly, about 15 miles per hour, but it is coming into town with that. And eventually after Maud, then it will head up towards Seminole. Here's Seminole on the top right-hand portion of your television screen. It's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while to come in, but here we are right now. And by the way, as we mentioned just moments ago, the tornado watch has been extended until 2 a.m. That's to account for the possibility of more storms that are going to try to develop down by the Lawton area and move back up. So again, here's the newest tornado watch that we now have until 2 a.m. And this does go all the way down to Norman, Purcell, Elmore City, Ardmore. Does include Stillwater. New tornado warning. It's going to be for the severe thunderstorm warning that we have. Is it for this? Let's go back over to the radar. I was just watching this right here. So I tell you what, we're not done. So now we're back to 2 tornado warnings. Okay, now we're going back in the wrong direction here with these tornado warnings, but now we went from 1, now we're back up to 2. I had a feeling this in the last couple of radar scans definitely started to have an inflow. This is east of Slaughterville. This will not impact Noble. Noble, you're not included in this tornado warning. But here we are right now, new tornado warning. Let's check in with Chris Lee. Chris Lee, back in a tornado warning once again for Cleveland County and Pottawatomie County, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. Chris, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a great deal of rotation or anything like that. We did see the hail in this storm, but at this point, it's very difficult to see much. We're trying to look out ahead of it, but really haven't any definition or lowering or anything.
Chris, definitely watching it. Chris, you're kind of coming in and out here. But brand new tornado warning just issued just moments ago. Let me show you right now where this area circulation is going to be. I'm going to show the shear on this. Again, it's going to be very close to the east-northeast of Slaughterville, where we have Derek. There's going to be Markup and Noble, and then Chrisley as well. So putting on a couple of tracks with this right here. Again, tracking this to the east. You can see right here, this will likely stay, this right here will likely stay just south of Thunder, or this will stay south of Thunderbird. So, a couple of areas certainly are very concerned in the Lake Thunderbird area. This will stay just south of you. We'll continue to move to the east here. Now, as we go up to the east right now, once again, keeping a close eye on this. Let me check back in, by the way, with field meteorologist Michael Armstrong and Storm Command. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing, Michael.
Yeah, so both of these storms really, Damon, they're just in an environment that's going to continue to support tornadoes. I know the sun is set. I know it's dark, folks, but we're just in a position tonight where there's just too much moisture in the atmosphere, and these storms are not going to weaken for a while. So for some of you, south and east of Oklahoma City, I think in the metro, for the most part, we're done now, Damon. But areas east of I-35 is a totally different story. Etowah, Tribby, those are some of the same names we were calling out, right? We've been calling out Cole, Noble, Goldsby, Etowah, and now it's extending further east over into Seminole County, too. Maud, please be in your shelter right now. Same thing for Etowah and Tribby, as both of these storms look like they could potentially produce a tornado at any moment.
Yeah, it's definitely going back in that direction. And so, can I give everybody an update right now? So what's happening? So we have 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now. Seminole, I know the sirens are sounding. So for Seminole, the rain's already started. The rain's going to come in first. The way that the storm is moving is that we're going to get the rain, then we're going to get the circulation. Here it is right now, about 2 miles west of Maud, moving up to the northeast at this current track. This may very well stay just barely northeast of Maud, but it will be close. We have Shane, we have Buck right now, currently in Seminole, in between Seminole and Maud. But you can definitely see, here's your area of rotation right here with this cell as it continues to move up to the northeast. So we are getting a low-level lock right now on our radar that is indicating exactly where the couplet's going to be, west of Maud. Let me go back out to Michael. Michael, what do you see?
Well, Damon, one of the things that we always look for is what we call gate-to-gate shear. And what that means, is the velocities that are being detected by the Doppler radar. They're really strong right together. And just a few moments ago, right before you came to me, I did some quick radar on it, and I calculated over 90 miles per hour of gate-to-gate shear with that Maud storm. That's pretty significant. It's rare that you have gate-to-gate velocity that strong and you don't have a tornado.
Yeah, this one is definitely the strongest, Michael, that we have right now in the Maud area, just on the west side of Maud. So definitely concerning, again, our radar. We are getting a low-level lock on this one, which would indicate a fairly tight circulation couplet right there on the west side of Maud, as that one continues to make its way to the northeast. So for Seminole, I know the sirens are sounding in Seminole. It's because of this right here in Maud, moving up to the northeast. We have Buck, we have Shane Helton. Let's check in with Buck right now, and then we'll go out to Shane after Buck. Buck, you first. Buck, what are you seeing right now with the storm coming in?
Well, we're still seeing a lot of intensity in the lightning, and we're fixing to kind of drive back into where this couplet is and try to get out of these trees that we're currently in where we have a better view. But this storm just continues to get stronger as it it's not moving very fast at all, Damon. It's for quite some time, but it just continues to intensify. Back to you.
You're exactly right, Buck. It's not moving very quickly, but it's definitely still going. Let me check in with Shane right now. Shane, you're in Seminole. Shane, are the sirens going off in Seminole, Shane?
coming into town, I thought I heard the sirens, but they are not sounding as of right this very minute. I mean, I'm listening real close here. I don't hear them. I know when I first came into town, I hollered at Charlie and I said, "Is that the storm sirens?" And they must have turned off right about that time because we're not hearing them now. But if you are here in Seminole, I would definitely be taking your tornado precautions, especially if you are older or something like that, you know, and you've got to take a while to get to your storm shelter. Now, I'm not going to say you have enough time to drive all the way across town and go to somebody else's house, but if you are in a trailer house or something, you definitely need to be thinking very clearly about what you're going to do, because mobile homes and things like that are really, really bad when it comes to any high winds. Now, as far as hail, I'm not seeing any. However, it is raining here in Seminole, and we're going to come out the south side of town, and we're going to try and get it where we can see the rain-free base of this storm. Damon, back to you.
Okay, so looking right now at kind of a bigger picture as to where the storms are, where we are with this storm. So this is what it's looking like right now, is that OKC, I know we do have now an extension of a tornado watch until 2 a.m., so about another three and a half hours with that. But right now, all the storms are currently based in Cleveland County, going into Pottawatomie County, and then Seminole County. Strongest storm is going to be this one, by the way. Maud up to Seminole. Other scattered thunderstorms that we see right now, down by Sulphur, that's not severe. Scattered storms down by Ada, lifting up towards Holdenville. Those are not severe. Even a couple cells here in eastern Payne County going out towards Cushing. Those are not severe. Quite a few flood advisories here right now, but once again, the strongest storm that we're finding right now is still going to be this one that we have down in the Maud area. The latest radar scan, we just lost our low-level lock, so let's hope that this is kind of trending back down. But at this current track, though, and zooming in, I mean, there's your inflow coming right into Maud. Right into Maud. I mean, that's been a bit of a jog there. Maud, you need to be in your tornado shelter right now. With that, there's your circulation. Again, right in Maud as we speak. That's it right there. That's your tornado warning. That's your tornado in Maud. At this current track, it will be moving up towards Seminole. Not a very fast-moving storm. I do want to emphasize just how slow this is moving at about 15 miles per hour, but it's those slower-moving storms that are usually a sign that the storm may be strengthening. So, updated storm track here. Right now, it is 10:24. At that current speed, it's not in Seminole for about another 20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. So, Bowlegs at 10:48, Seminole 10:58, and Lima at 11:05. It'll take a little while for that storm to move in. Let's hope it weakens, but we know that this tornado warning continues. So, check in with Buck right now. Buck, it continues to be right on top of Maud. Buck, what are you seeing from your vantage point?
Well, Damon, I feel like I can see what we need to see, but I can't see it very well because I'm not getting enough lightning right now. I do have some trees that are obstructing my view. So we're trying to use our eyes as best as possible, but we're really relying on radar updates right now to give us an idea of where we need to be to see this. And I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. It's coming right directly at us. It's just a couple of miles to our south. And we're going to stay right here because we think this is the best area we can get a view of the base of this storm. Back to you.
Yeah, definitely. You're in a spot. So, and Sabrina working with you there. So she'll continue to pass meteorology data to you. But once again, that storm continues. Now, what's interesting to note about this cell that is east of Slaughterville, southwest of Etowah, from a reflectivity standpoint, it looks like you have a well-defined hook echo here. I mean, that looks really impressive. However, the winds inside the storm are not nearly as intense. So a little bit of a misleading storm. If you were to look at this right now, I know this looks like this should be the stronger storm. This Cleveland County storm, so the one that's east of Slaughterville, is the weaker of the two. This one for Maud continues to look to be the stronger of the two storms. And so just passing that along. Again, got to analyze a lot of things live on air. There's definitely inflow into that storm, but that one does appear to be a bit weaker. So right now, still working 2 tornado warnings as we continue late into the evening here. It's about 10:30 with this storm, but we are going to continue to at least watch these cells as they move up to the north or to the east northeast. Once again, tornado warning for Pottawatomie County until 10:45. Let me check in with Chris Lee right now. Chris Lee is going to be in Cleveland County here, southeast of Lake Thunderbird, watching this storm closely. Chris, give us an update on what you're seeing just south of Thunderbird.
Yeah, not seeing any rotation with the storm. Heavy rain, and we have seen some hail earlier. Not seeing that right now. Definitely a lot of lightning, and difficult. We keep saying it. The difficulty at night. With the trees and everything. But we are watching the area. As it's coming over south of Lake Thunderbird. Looks like it's going to be going and through maybe the Etowah area, and we headed towards Macomb and Brooksville here over the next 15, 20 minutes, Damon.
Okay, we'll continue to watch that again. Still working 2 tornado warnings. So the Seminole tornado warning goes until 10:45, as you see right there. The tornado warning that is Cleveland County, that still goes until 11 o'clock. We'll see if it continues. From a strength standpoint, however, and looking at the winds inside, both of these storms are rotating, but right now, from an impact standpoint, this cell that I see currently over Maud continues to be a little bit stronger. So again, there's your new storm track right there with that cell that continues to move to the east. So once again, Maud headed up towards Seminole. There's Shane. There's going to be Buck. There's storm command, by the way, out near Earlsboro. Let me talk to Michael. So, Michael, it looks like this cell that's coming into Seminole County continues to be the stronger of the two. Michael, what do you see from storm command?
Yeah, I think what I've been watching, though, Damon, is that that storm is starting to come down in terms of the tops on it, in terms of how tall the storm is. Usually that's a sign the storm may be weakening, and I actually show that lightning starting to decrease some with it. As a result, I think I'm going to come back in and help with the Tribby and Macomb storm, the one that's heading toward them, that's over southwest of Etowah, just because of that real pronounced hook. And I did hear you mention that, and you are right on that the velocities are not nearly as strong, and they weren't as strong as what we saw there west of Maud. One thing that was interesting, Damon, that I did want to note was that the tornado, I think there was a tornado, by the way, west of Maud, and it lifted almost due north or northeast as it came through, but the main cell is kind of moving more to the northeast. So it's interesting because some of these tornadoes are deviant motion tornadoes. They're moving in a different direction than the main cell is moving, and that even adds more to the chaos, as if we needed more at night over in the trees and in the dark. I mean, it's a wild night.
It definitely is. It is definitely a wild night. So putting up some stats right now on this storm that we have in for Maud, where Buck and Shane are. So right now, hail sizes inside of it are not very high. You can see our tornado index is not very high either. So it's sitting at about a 4.9. That's on a by the way, a 1 to 10 scale. So it's still rotating, but we'll watch the tornado index that we have coming in with this storm. Again, it's still rotating, and so still got to watch. Let's check in with Shane right now. Shane, a storm coming in towards Seminole, should be in town in the next. Not a very fast-moving storm, by the way, Shane. So it's going to take about 23 minutes or so, according to our storm track. Shane, what do you see in Seminole and just outside of town?
We're watching it really closely right now, but Damon, it's just far enough away that we're not able to see it. And I actually just got out of the rain, so while we were in the rain, we really couldn't see much. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a better view of it. And I'm kind of I'm not going to say I'm in a bad spot. It's just a place where I just really can't see much yet. So we're working on it here, trying to see what we can find here. But so far we haven't seen any hail, and if they weren't paying attention and if somebody wasn't paying attention, they just think it was a rainstorm. So we are going to tell you need to be watching closely if you live in this area. So because it's heading this way. So back to you, Damon.
Yeah, it certainly is. And so as of right now, all the severe weather stats, Shane, and all of our team out there on this cell that we have right now. Let's go ahead and go full with the radar here, and I'll show it to you. So it's moving not very fast, northeast at about 17 miles per hour. Still a tall storm, not as tall as some of the storms that we have had here. Hail is not particularly large out of there, still sitting at about 3/4 of an inch. Still finding at least some rotation within this. Again, right now we're kind of bouncing back and forth with our tornado index there, about 4.9 to 5. So again, on a 1 to 10 scale, it's not very high, but still, tornado warning remains. Now, it does appear that at least the storm is still rotating in the mid-levels. Doesn't look like anything's still on the ground. So let's hope that it continues to go in that path. But updated storm track that we have here, Seminole, 1052, same thing for Seminole State College. Otherwise, as we go out to the west with our other storm that we're seeing as well, as we go out towards Etowah, this storm as well continues to, it's still tornado warned, and it will be putting a track on this one right now to the east. This one is a little bit lower. You can see here the tops, only about 26,000 feet. Not a lot of hail on that too, by the way. Hail's only gonna be around the size of peas. And so tracking that to the east, Burnett, 1046, Tribby, and then Macomb at 1057 with that cell as it's continuing to move to the east. Pink have a lot of heavy rain falling overhead. Now remember, at one point this storm was dropping quite a bit of hail. It's been warned for up to I believe $half size hail. So showing the big picture right now, I'm going to go ahead and zoom on out. You can see we have quite a large severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, that has been issued for eastern Pottawatomie County going up in towards Hughes County. By the way, that's going to be until 11:15. That's for quarter size hail, this big cluster of storms that we see right here. Let me go ahead and just put this radar into lapse mode. You can see how these storms are basically moving here. Again, the last 5 minutes. Let me go ahead and just kind of clean this radar up just for a bit so you can kind of get a better perspective. Again, we got a lot of our crews out. All of our crews are out tracking these storms. But you can see these are moving to the east. So hanging on to these 2 tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warning. Other cells that we see, by the way, going up in northern Pottawatomie County, even up towards Chandler, Cushing, eastern Payne County. Those are not severe, but some of the high resolution data that we've been watching does show that these may flare up a bit as they make a run up towards Tulsa with a hail threat ongoing up there. And again, we do have a new tornado watch that has been issued that goes until 2 a.m. for these storms as they continue to move to the east. You can basically see where we're concentrating a lot of our coverage on these tornado warnings, rightfully so too, by the way. Shawnee, right now this tornado warning is south of you. Now Shawnee, we do have some storms that are coming in, but again, you can see right there, tornado warning flashing south of you. And again, that warning goes until 11. And then this tornado warning that we have for Seminole goes for another 10 minutes. Let me check back in with field meteorologist Michael Armstrong. Michael, you're in between 2 tornado warnings right now, south of the Tecumseh. Michael, what do you see?
Right, yeah, we're transitioning back to the tornado warning that's back to the west, and that storm, it was kind of optimistic, right? I mean, we got to go down to a severe thunderstorm warning, but it didn't last very long, and they had to put another tornado warning on it. I did read some analysis actually just a moment ago from the Weather Service, and they did say that they believe that there's no tornado any longer with the storm that has just now moved through Maud. But there were confirmed power flashes, and Spotter did report a tornado that's about 3 miles west of Maud. So there was a tornado there, and it may have done some damage. Looks like it may have taken down some power lines at the very minimum, but that storm is definitely weaker now, and I've got my attention focused on this storm that's headed up toward Tribby. I know Derek is right there close to it, but also I know that having been in this area multiple times that there are some areas out here where you simply cannot get cell service. So I don't know if we can talk to Derek at some point or not, but we'll stay over here a little bit further to the east. That way we can keep good cell service on it. We can give you some reports, but we're going to be on 177 east of Tribby and just east of Macomb, watching it come this way.
Yeah, and you're right. And Michael, that's a lot of Oklahoma, by the way, where cell coverage, they can be hit and miss. And so, but here's what we know right now at 10:36. So this storm has come down considerably. Not ready to write it off yet, Seminole, but it has come down. So we're going to continue to watch this one real close. Again, we have Buck and we have Shane keeping a real close eye on this. And then we have this tornado warning right now. So for this cell, by the way, that's going to be in Seminole, circulation, I'm going to show you exactly what the circulation is looking like at this moment. Again, it's not very strong. but it's there, but it is much weaker. You can see right here, it's basically going to be just about 3 to 4 miles northwest of Bowlegs to be exact. 4 miles to be exact northwest of Bowlegs at this current track. Let me track this out the last few minutes. You can see how it's moving. It is moving up to the north, and so at that path, I'm going to go ahead and draw how it's looking. It's gonna basically come very close to Seminole, but it's not very strong now. It has come down. So tornado warning still remains, so we're not writing this off just quite yet, but getting real hyper local on this. This is gonna be right on top of State Highway 59, 4 miles northwest of Bowlegs, moving up towards Seminole State College. Seminole State College, you are in the tornado warning still. Our other storm that we have ongoing, by the way, that's going to be out just in towards now Pottawatomie County. That's going to be mainly out towards Etowah. Looking at our shear, the amount of rotation, not very strong. Neither of these storms right now are really showing any type of strong rotation. Again, you can see the rotation is low. It's there, but it's low. It's right on top of Buck, by the way. And then even as we go out to the west, not finding any type of significant rotation either. Now, here's I want to be very clear, is that the tornado threat is decreasing at this moment going into Seminole. It's not zero, but it is decreasing, which is good. Same thing as we go out towards Etowah and Tribby. You'll see here our rotation tracker. When you see this type of dark green, that is very weak rotation. Once you start getting into the yellows and the browns and the reds, that's when you're starting to look at some much stronger rotation. Neither of these storms right now are showing that. So that's a step in the right direction. We are going to watch it, but I know we have our news crews right now standing by with damage in the Noble areas. I want to send it over to the news desk for an update there.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane, we'll get back to you in just a moment, but we are hearing of damage in Noble there in Cleveland County. Several buildings have sustained damage. KOCO's Elise Jones is there live. Elise, what are you seeing off of Main Street and Etowah Road?
Well, Abby, I'm going to show you over here first. This is the command post that's been set up on Main Street and Etowah Road for anyone who has any damage to their home or reports of damage. You can find police, fire, Oklahoma Highway Patrol was here a little bit ago. But if you look this way, they have actually set up a full police perimeter all the way over to these buildings, and you can see some of this damage here. This is a gas station and donut shop, and a house back here where you see that one-way sign. That is a house. We're told that only one house has been damaged, and 4 commercial buildings. They say that there are no injuries, no rescues, and it's truly a miracle. But you can see this damage, especially to the roof of this gas station. And it's interesting because, you know, we were here in Noble before that tornado came through. We were able to get out and find a safe place, and there were people sitting here at this gas station, standing outside, watching the storm. And our photojournalist, Mark Frickland, went up to them and told them to seek shelter, that a storm was coming through. And I mean, thank goodness that they did, because look at the damage right where they were standing. So truly just remarkable that he was able to tell them to find a safe place. But you can see just all that's happened over here. But again, only 4 buildings, 1 home, no injuries, no rescues, and it's just this one block. They also said there are a few power lines down here on this block, but they have no other reports of damage so far here in Noble. But if you are in the area or have family in the area and have reports of damage, again, the command post has been set up on Etowah Road and Main Street. For now, reporting live in Noble, Elise Jones, KOCO 5 News.
Elise, thank you. And we've been in touch with several different departments as well as the McLean County Sheriff's Office. And we're just learning from them in Cole, there's a report of significant damage to a home there. Remember, Cole was hit by a tornado just last month.
Yeah, 2 people died.
Yeah, at least 2 deaths. They had widespread damage there. The good news tonight is that the damage is not widespread, although 1 home at least with significant damage. The crews are also doing a grid search. They're searching Cole and Goldsby just to make sure. And one specific area where they're looking. 74B from May to 260th. But the good news with this is so far no reports of any injuries there in McLean County. They say power outages are minimal right now and all roads are open. But you can see from our crew catching this tornado earlier this evening.
You know, and it's interesting, you're talking about how this is a community that was hit by a tornado not that long ago. The fact that when we were talking to these emergency responders, these management crews, they were saying, we're not sure if some of the damage that we're hearing about as we're driving around town is new tonight, or if this was existing damage from before. So Cole, I've been in contact with emergency management out of Pottawatomie County, where of course they had that big tornado move through Shawnee. I know for a fact that they had their own spotters, their own emergency management team, basically out by Lake Thunderbird to walk those storms towards in case they got in there. Of course, now with tornado warnings in Pot County and some other nearby areas, we'll see what comes of that. But all these emergency management crews, it's been a busy spring already for them right now. And so they've gotten a lot of practice, sadly, at exactly how to respond to nights like these.
So just quickly to recap, there in McLean County, one home with significant damage, and that is where they are doing the grid search at 260th and 74B. And that's what you were talking about. He said that there were 2 homes that they spotted with minor damage, but they weren't sure if it was from tonight or if it was from back in April. So that's something they're also looking at. Speaking of Cleveland County as well, we mentioned the buildings. You saw that there in the live shot in Noble. Norman Police, the Norman Mayor, also the Cleveland County Emergency Response, saying that there is no damage in Norman. It really seems like Noble at this time, at least for our viewing area and the tornadoes that we've been covering tonight, Noble is the area that has sustained the most damage.
Right, and we're also checking power outages for you. Damon, we've seen a significant drop in power outages, so that's good. We're looking at a little over 2,000 across the state. Most of those, looks like with OG&E, and most of them are in Norman, Noble, and Oklahoma City as well. At one point, I believe I saw it over 11,000 statewide, so now we're down to about 2,100 right now. Damon, we're going to continue to look for any more damage reports and any more information, but we'll send it back to you for now.
Okay, so we have an important update to pass along. So by the way, this tornado warning for Seminole has been canceled. So that's good. That was set to expire, by the way, in about 2 minutes. So heavy rain, some gusty winds coming in the Seminole right now, but this warning, again, this tornado warning that we have right here for Seminole, that has been expired. It's been dropped a couple minutes early. So that's good. So now we're just working this one out towards Burnett, coming in towards Pottawatomie County. Let me check in with Storm Command right now. So Michael, tornado warning for Seminole has been dropped. This one still continues from now another 15 minutes. Coming into Pottawatomie County, Michael, what do you see from Storm Command?
Well, I like the trends on these storms. I know there's some warnings of like some of them are expiring, like you mentioned, and that's good. Damon, I think one of the things, use a little cliche here, but I think that the storms down east of Ada and southwest of Ada are stealing these storms' thunder. I really do. They look like they've dramatically decreased. So either the cap is getting stronger or they've just kind of met their match. But they just don't look nearly as strong as what they did. We'll keep our eye on them just in case, especially the one here near Tribby and Macomb. We've got, I think Derek and Chris Lee and I are all 3 on this one now, so we've got it surrounded. If it does anything, we'll know it. But I do like the trends that I'm seeing, and I'm not seeing nearly as much lightning with these storms either. That makes it hard on us because we can't see the lowered areas as well. But I'm looking right back toward the storm. I'm east of Macomb, and I'm looking due west, and I think I've seen one lightning flash in like 2 minutes or something. I mean, it's crazy how quickly these storms are kind of decreasing.
And Michael, you're right. As I'm looking at all the data coming into our radar right now, you're talking about a decrease in...
Not really sure if we can...
David, I'm not sure if your mic's on.